we would not have our game. If you'd like to get fit, get paid, have fun and get in the game, head to umpire.afl or get down to training on Tuesday or Thursday night here at TIO Stadium. Remember, you can play one day and umpire the next. We'd now take the time to mention our officiating umpires for this match. Our field umpires tonight are John Hallworth, Mitch Forsyth, Jameson Galbraith, and our boundary umpires are Ryan Gosper, Jasper Hutt, Sam Wright, and our 2 goal umpires this evening are Angela Wood and William Wood.
Everybody that is joining us, we hope that it is going to be a thrilling game. Nightcliff Tigers up against Wanderers. Shannon Byrne in commentary. Joining me, Dominic McCormack and Tash Medbury. Earlier today, if you haven't heard, in round 3, Tiwi Bombers' first result for the season in a win, 14 points over St Mary's. Southern Districts, 93-point winners over Palmerston, and it was Waratah 12-12-84 who defeated Darwin 3-9-27. So a big win there for the red and the white. But the game in front of us, the reigning premiers, they're undefeated so far in season 2019-2020, taking on the Wanderers side that are also undefeated, but they had a draw last week against Southern Districts. As the 2 captains come into the middle, and we're not too far away from the first bounce, a little delay here. That's because a heat wave rule was brought in. They knew on Thursday, they spoke to the Bureau of Meteorology, and rightly so. They knew today was going to be an absolute Darwin stinker, and rightly so. 2:30 was put back with a lot more in their breaks at quarter time, half time and 3/4 time. And so with that, all matches have been put back by 10 minutes. And Tash, you played 3 o'clock today, and you can confirm it was hot.
I can confirm it was very, very hot. Just looking at the team list for Wanderers, a big out is Daniel Wheatra against a strong Nightcliff's team. He's a big out from the back line, so Brenton Watlock probably has a lot on his plate, along with Braden McLean.
Interesting that for the Tigers, no Cameron Eilert. And Shannon, you remember seeing him suffering that shoulder injury just before 3/4 time. Did come on in the last quarter and continue the game, and probably was a key contributor and helped them to win it, but not out there this evening. So
hopefully it's not too serious. I thought he'd actually dislocated it when he did it, so we're not too sure on how long he may be out with that. But yes, we're just out in the middle. Ashley Manakaris has the honours of tossing the coin. The umpire round is allowing him to have the honours, and Philip Wills for Nightcliff has won the toss. They're going to elect to kick to the Pints End, which has been definitely the scoring end today.
Yes, the end that you always choose not to kick to first is my theory, Shannon. You always kick to the McMillan's Road end first. Go with the wind in the last quarter.
Well, sometimes it changes, but I as captain before, I used to go with that theory, and then a couple of times the wind changed and it caught me out. So got to be a bit careful sometimes.
I'm with you, Tash. Whatever the wind is doing right at that moment, just go with it, because it's weather, it changes at any stage. But we are set for a good one. The flags would indicate that would be maybe 1 to 2 goal advantage at the moment towards the Pints End. But there is a pretty good crowd on hand as well. A couple of, Waratah fans have stayed on as well, eagerly watching this game because they have had a brilliant win just earlier over Darwin Buffalo. So 2 teams coming out into the middle, and the man to get us underway. The final game for round 3 of the Men's Premier League in the NTFL, Dominic McCormack.
Thanks very much, Shannon. Just waiting for the players now to take their positions. Nightcliff Tigers players right in front of us, jogging towards their spot on the interchange bench. Philip Wills just marshalling his troops in the middle of the ground. Ruckman for the Tigers, Kyle Winter Irving. Nothing like winter out here at the moment at all. So we'll see how Kyle goes with that. And for the Eagles, their ruckman, Ashley Hood. Two big men to go at it in the middle of the ground. Captain for tonight, Braden McLean, also taking his place in the centre. Looks like it's going to be the captains lining up on each other. McLean on Wills. Ashley Hood for the Eagles in ruck. Kyle Winter Irving, ball held aloft by the central umpire. Game about to get underway. Round 3 match here. The Eagles taking on the Tigers. Up goes Winter Irving, gets 2 touches to it. Hood tried to get another. McLean takes it away. Quick kick from Edward Colley for the Eagles up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball spills out. Wills with a quick handball. Great tackle laid by the Tigers. And the ball held up at centre half forward. Hood hard in and under. Attack on the footy by both teams there. Centre half forward now. The ball tossed high. Winter Irving wins it down. No clean possession taken out of the pack. Scrimmage around here at half forward. Quick kick out by Hood up towards full forward. Shoving his opponent out of the way was Joel Jeffrey. Spins around, gets a quick kick away towards the goal square. The Eagles forwards cannot pick that up before it goes through for a behind. So first score on the board here. It's taken 50 seconds. Wanderers with 1 point scored by Joel Jeffrey.
And looking very dangerous as well, Joel Jeffrey down there on the forward line.
So big, long kick out, and it's going towards Winter Irving. Was at the back, not able to gather it. Still ball down in dispute, but Winter Irving is the man that lays the tackle, and it is getting up on the bottom of that Dre for the Wanderers.
And how's that hair? That's fantastic.
One down by Winter Irving, but still now to the advantage of, yep, it's going to go free kick. Willis.
It was there, yep.
Without the ball, we saw Colley, and Phillips gave him a big shove. So quick play on from McLean, and he tried to put it at the top of the square, and it's been cut off from the Nightcliff Tigers, who quick kick out to the left outside wing, and he's being held well for the Nightcliff Tigers. They're able to keep it in there, and the man with the throw picks it up for the Wanderers in Nicky. So there's 2 throws out there at the moment. Ball still in the middle of the ground. Picked up by Colley from Wanderers. Gives it off to Nicky, puts it onto the right boot. And it is number 1 in Fajo Keelan, that is, and he's being harassed. Nicky's been busy. It puts a short kick into the right forward pocket for Wanderers, but it's Nightcliff Tigers who are out over on the outer side, and it is Wanderers that are going to mop up.
Ball pursued there by Moniz Wakefield. McLean now on the left boot, kicks inboard, misses a target. Dangerous place to do it on centre wing. Ball now kicked inside forward 50. No mark taken at full forward. Battle going on here. Taken to ground. Nightcliff now by hand. Away come the Eagles. He's waiting for a clear target up ahead. The long kick up centre wing. Ball kept in. Dre Thompson was there momentarily. The ball taken by Jonathan Peris. Nice little handoff by him to Jermaine Hurd. No mark taken at half forward. Winter Irving in, goes to Philo. Tries to step, unable to do so. Goes on the right foot.
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful right foot kick. His teammate couldn't take the mark. Socked through on the line. It was touched. A point is the score. A point apiece. Nightcliff and Wanderers 3 minutes into this first quarter.
And no one is going near Brody Philo at the moment. Someone needs to pick him up.
Well, we picked up our maximum points in round 1 of the NTFL game, Brody Philo, but it's now Wanderers. There was a 50 metres, so Wanderers have gone through Motlop, that's Brenton Motlop, right over to the outer wing. Down forward, Mr. from Keelan Fijo with the bounce, so it gives the opportunity for the Tigers now to clear out on the outer wing. Just being held up.
Philo's on again here.
Kick down to Philo, the man in the flashy boots. The red boots, wheels around on the right, up to centre half forward, right of the angle, just drops in front of the Wanderers defenders. Can he get on it now? Evans being harassed by Motlop. That's Matthew Motlop, and the ball is just going to go out about 5 metres from the right of the post in the forward pocket for Nightcliff Tigers.
Clever play here by Nightcliff, just to lock the ball inside the 50. Get the Wanderers defence under a lot of pressure.
Evans nominates, and for Nightcliff Tigers, no one goes up against him in the ruck, but it's now coming out through the Wanderers, through Colley. He kicks it down only as far as Winter Irvine, gets an ugly bounce, handballs it off to Moniz Wakefield. He puts a little short ball in, and it's hit from behind. The Wanderers now having to mop up, and they do. Phillips, Wills, that is, the captain for Nightcliff, smashed to the ground. The ball spills out, and it spills over the sideline by Sitsis.
Yeah, that was a good tackle on Wills. He was the bigger body, but well done to the young fella in Ronald Fijo to wrap him up.
Boundary throw in now, 60 metres around from the Tigers' goal. Throw in it is to Winter Irving, up against Hood. Winter Irving wins it down to Philo. Philo, the long bomb from 50. He is so dangerous. Signals to the crowd his pleasure with that kick. That's the first goal on the board. Terrific kick from Brodie Philo. The Tigers 1-1-7, leading the Eagles 1 point. It's gone 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, he's been hot since the first bounce, and no one's picked him up. And Shannon Motlop probably needs to put a tag on him. He is that good, and he gets the ball so often he gets leather poisoning, but his kicks out of the pack, as we see here, from the 50, just one step and launches it, and halfway up, goalpost height, it goes through. He's just a pocket rocket, Brodie Philo, Nichols medalist, as we know, and the way he started the first 3 rounds has been brilliant.
So it was a fantastic start for the Nightcliff Tigers, and they're back in the middle now. Winter Irvine hunched over. He's going up against Hood. Ball up in the middle for umpire round, and we're giving them so much credit, but we'll say that, you know, they're not perfect.
That probably wasn't his best bounce. He was doing them perfectly when they were warming up.
They always do, Pash.
It always
do. So he elects now just to toss that up. Winter Irvine wins it down, but only as far as the Wanderers player in Dyer. Dyer kicks it out straight up to full forward, going over the top of Jeffrey. He wasn't able to gather it. Still in the left forward pocket, and a shot on goal dribbled through here from Keelan Fijo. And he has picked the goal from the left forward pocket, dribbling goal, and it was a beauty to make it levelled scores, 7-all, 6 minutes gone.
He knew there was a defender in front of him, so he needed to keep the ball low, and he dribbled it through, but what a brilliant kick in by Braden McLean, just kicked it long. Joel Jeffrey went for the mark. Davin Ferrari here just fumbled, but a good hand pass to get it back to a teammate, and here we go, just dribbles it between 2 players along the ground. I think Kane Riley tried to stick his foot out but didn't get there, and that's a brilliant goal.
Magnificent play by Keelan Fijo. The Wanderers stay in the game in these early stages. 1-1-7 apiece, 7 minutes gone in this first quarter. Good bounce by the umpire. Well, we'll give him a bit of the benefit of the doubt on that occasion. One by Nightcliff. Can they get it out of the middle? No, they can't at this stage. Nice handball comes out this time. Holt Fitz, nice little handball away there. Moniz Wakefield from centre half forward. Floating bomb is going to get cut off, and that's a good mark taken there, and that should be 50. Nothing doing, says the umpire.
Unlucky there, Daniel Fuller.
Fuller was shoved over, now goes to a teammate close to the boundary there in Ronald Fijo. Couldn't take the mark, the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 75 away from the Tigers' goal.
These Wanderers are close to having an under-21s team out there at the moment. They've got a lot of young players. Daniel Fuller, one of them, and is doing a very good job in the back line.
McGregor in the ruck for Nightcliff. He gets a good touchdown as well. Wills tries to bring it out for the captain, weaving left and right, but being taken away from their goals. Gets it inside the forward 50 for Nightcliff Tigers. Drops in front of a pack, but it's Philo who picks it up. Can go on the left as well, heading to the square, and it is a beautiful shepherd through. That is what you like to see. It came from nothing again. He whirled out around onto his left, and more importantly, it looked like it was going to be marked in the middle of the square, but it was a beautiful duck in the end. Very, very clever play from Melville there.
He just balked his defender, didn't he? Brenton Motlop 30 was going for the goals, and there's Philip Wills just gets it on the boot. Front and centre, where you want your midfielder to be. And again, no one's picking him up, breaks the tackle, spins around, again from the 50. But look at this, Brenton Motlop thought he was going for the mark and then just goes through. Clever play.
Well, he's just taken exactly what I said pre-game.
Kidney, I think.
Just the kick on goal, sensational. Left and right, Brodie Philo, magnificent. Bounce out of the middle, one again by the Tigers, taken here by Ashley Hood, though, just pushing it forward, now taken by McLean. The up and under torpedo. Ferreira underneath it, I think. What a good mark. Just kept his eyes on the footy and took the mark sliding in. So Wanderers, an opportunity here to have a very, very quick and much needed reply. Nightcliff 2-1-13, Wanderers 1-1-7. And yes, indeed, Davin Ferreira, an experienced player attached for them, been around a while.
And a good, usually a good set shot as well. Probably put the mockers on him, but he usually a good set shot.
Shush. Davin Ferreira. Dead in front. Kick on its way. Will it have the carry? No, it does. It does have the carry off to the right. Well done, Natasha Medbury.
He's kicking into that breeze as well.
Oh, that's the excuse now. 1-2-8 Wanderers, Nightcliff 2-1-13. We've gone 9.5 in the first.
Great kick out.
Quick kick out, and it comes down to their right. Picked up in a great player who goes down further, and it's Evans who is out in front. He was harassed well by Jordan Jeffrey. Evans still going down the broadcast wing, and a great intercept mark there for Wanderers in Ronald Fijo. So Fijo, ugly wobbly kick, and now it's gone back to Nightcliff. So a couple of turnovers. Sitsis now just holding it up for Nightcliff. He's in front of the Wanderers interchange area, broadcast wing, goes into traffic, and he was looking for and found a Nightcliff player in Brewer. Brewer gave it off to Hurd. Hurd goes inside, found Michael Hagan on the paint of 50. A lot of players running around inside the 50. He decides to go to true full forward from behind. A great one-handed mark from Evans.
That's where you've got to love that new rule, that the hands in the back, as long as you don't push them forward and you can actually hold your position as a forward, I think that's a brilliant rule that they've brought back in.
One-handed juggle mark as well. He had to do a little bit of work with that. Plucked it out of the air with one hand. The man on the mark walks in about 20 metres directly in front and slots it. So Evans picks up the third goal for Nightcliff. Nightcliff go ahead 19-8, 11 minutes gone in the opening term.
Just against a younger player as well, just his strength in Tyrell Louis, just wasn't able to hold his position, and a good nudge under the footy, and Evans took the one-handed mark. Clever mark, but clever play again by Nightcliff, just kicking the ball in long, taking their time to get the ball forward, which is what you want sometimes when there's nothing on. But the kick into traffic, good trap by the Nightcliff player, and they got it down to the full forward goal.
Ball back in the middle now. Umpires resetting. Wanderers need to stay in touch here. 11.5 gone, 19 plays 8. Reigning premier in the lead. Umpire sets himself. Good bounce in the middle.
Defense gone out of the circle.
Attack on the ball is good. Wanderers will come away with it here. Nice long kick out from Clarence Baird, but a good mark, almost taken at centre half back. Jonathan Perris paddling the ball in front, now shoved over. Wanderers will take possession here. Lovely handball over the top. Comes away to Ferreira, snaps on goal, straight through the middle. I said they had to stay in touch. They're doing exactly that. Well done, Wanderers.
That was a good team goal. I think it was Clarence Baird that got the clearance, got it down there, and a good hit just in the contest there, and Jonathan Perris wasn't able to take the mark, and they got it forward. Good hand pass to Davin Ferreira, who kicked a good goal.
Good quick play.
Here's Clarence Baird on the replay, just kicks it down through a contest. Jonathan Perris dropped the mark he probably should have taken. Keelan Fijo puts a lot of pressure on him, and just this hit here, just sort of stopped the footy. Good hand pass out of the pack. Davin Ferreira on the right boot, straight through the goals.
So up in the bounce, just makes it inside the circle, and it's Winter Irvine who was first to it. He goes up against Nicky for Wanderers, who's now in the ruck. He's trying to harass Philo, but Philo got an ugly kick away, and it was an up and under, and it gave enough time for Hagan to juggle mark. He's taken it inside forward 50, and it's cut off there by the Wanderers defence. They're under a mountain of work and pressure from Fuller. Fuller tried to get it out. Philip Wills, the captain for Nightcliff. Quick handball off, and it's Williams who kicks it up to a mark that's dropped for the Nightcliff full forward. That looked like it might have been a little high. A late whistle. That's coming from the central umpire, who's 2 umpires away. It was a high tackle.
It was definitely there.
It was certainly there, and so Fuller, rightly so, gets a free kick, and it's Wanderers that are able to relieve themselves out of the defensive 50.
Only momentarily, however. Mark taken back here for the Tigers. Bowls it is. He wheels onto that all-familiar left boot up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Off hands. The ball coming here for the Tigers to Liam Holt-Fitz. Cheney medalist from the grand final. Ball off now to Brodie Philo. Little chip kick. Who's going to attack it? The Eagles do. Comes off hands. Away there through Marcus Totham. Long kick down the wing now. No mark to be taken here. Kane Riley uses the ball footy. Belts it back over his head to Bowles. Bowles on the left boot. Up towards centre half forward. Ball taken. The Eagles through Marcus Totham. Nice kick in. Off the chest of a teammate. Comes to Keelan Fijo. Away here now to Dre Thompson. One of the magnificent afros of the NTFL, without a doubt. Off hands here, and a free kick to be paid will go to the Eagles. And a free kick to Joel Jeffrey. Very good goal kicker, Joel Jeffrey.
Used his body really well there just to protect the drop zone, Dominic, and just got the free kick in the end.
Good young player, Joel Jeffrey. Need to see more consistent performance from him at this level of football. Could be a very good player one day, including at a higher level, but consistent performance is what the Eagles in particular need to see from him. Left of centre now, 45-degree angle, crosses the paint of 50 now. Man on the mark at 35. Kick on its way. Starts it towards the middle, fades late. Need to start at the left point post at that end of the ground. Another behind to the score for the Eagles. They move on to 2-3-15, trailing Nightcliff 3-1-19 at the 15.5-minute mark, first quarter.
He'll be disappointed with that shot on goal, Dominic. Joel Jeffrey.
Daniel Bowles, booming left foot after he'd run out of the centre square for the behind kick in. And it's over on the outer wing. Nightcliff Tigers looking to go forward, but it's Wanderers in youngster Coley who's able to get it first. He goes just down the wing further towards their attacking 50 to Nicky. Nicky slows up directly in front of the scoreboard, still at the halfway mark, chips it short, and it looks like it's gone over. Oh no,
Mark's paid.
It's played. It was just like a slips catch going
Yeah,
forward.
it was, I think.
It was
Didn't want to mark
a
that.
very, very tight mark right over on the boundary. Hugging it is Coley. He tries to hot up, and he does hit up Keelan Fijo. Don't think he was the intended person, but it was an unmarked Fijo. Goes for Joel Jeffrey. He's being harassed by two players, and it's Roland Fijo gets it off to Ferreira. Ferreira dropping back and drops it onto the left foot, and he picks up his second goal, Ferreira. Wow, he was diving backwards, being pushed.
Smart play by Wanderers, because three Nightcliff defenders went to Joel Jeffrey, which Davin Ferreira is just hanging back off the pack, waiting for the handball or the ball to come over the pack, and that's 2 goals now he's kicked in that situation. You just see good work by Ronald Fijo this time to get the hand pass to Davin Ferreira in the same spot, mind you, but 3 defenders went with Joel Jeffrey.
And this is why Joel Jeffrey, only a young player we know, but why he has to. He's got to keep leading for the footing, keep doing the hard thing. Doesn't matter if he's not getting a kick. Doesn't matter if he's not taking the marks. It doesn't matter.
You pull the players with you.
Exactly.
They've hit the lead, Wanderers 21-19.
Ball back in the middle now. Wanderers trying to take it away. Good harassment by Philip Wills. Sees the ball push forward. Philo takes it at centre half forward. Wonderful handball. Off into the space of Coco Nicky. He gathers calmly. Stops, props, pirouettes. Buys himself a little bit of time and space. Did that really well. Did he find a teammate? He didn't. Eagles crashing the pack. McLean coming in strongly. They're diving on top of him. The umpire says play on. The ball tries to scoot out the back for the Eagles. Players swarming around it. And the umpire says, I will have it on the paint of 50 in the corridor. Nightcliff Tigers 50 from goal. 21 plays 19. The Eagles now in the lead. Winter Irving up. Got it away to a teammate. And a mark taken. That's all too easy there for the Tigers. A mark taken by Michael Hagan, just left of centre, and he'll kick from 45.
Nice quick kick, and he, as a forward, you want to be in front, and he was, and just took that at the highest point. Good hands by Michael Hagan.
Marley McGregor just coming on for the Nightcliff Tigers. One of the good mullets of the NTFL too, I see, Marley McGregor. It's the game of the hairstyles out here, I'll tell you what.
You got to love the mullet.
Michael Hagan returning to footy this weekend. Kick on its way from 40 metres, and he's pushed it to the right-hand side. Again, some easy misses, Natasha.
Yeah, just creeping in. It's kicking with the breeze, but the breeze has slightly just changed the angles a little bit as well.
So McLean, that's Braden McLean, kicks it down the left, just outside the forward 50. Wanderers still under a lot of pressure here, and they still go down the broadcast wing. Waiting at the back for Wanderers was Allen, goes over his head. Now it's picked up for Nightcliff from Monis Wakefield. In through the middle with a running Jonathan Paris. He goes over to the outer side, not able to be picked up by Hagan, but he dances around his opponent in Totham, and he spots up a good lead and honours that. It's on the forward 50 for Melville. He's going to creep over, and he looked like he was going to go long. Chips it in, not able to find his teammate in Hagan. So it's Nightcliff Tigers now going forward, and a great captain's run there Philip Wills was just waiting inside the centre square. Short chips all around from Nightcliff, and Wills was in front, and it landed in his lap.
Look at the numbers there for Nightcliff. They were just around the ball. They were desperate for the footy. Quick kick out, and Phil Wills was in front, leading from the square.
So to come in back in the lead, Philip Wills directly in front, 20 metres out, slots it, and players run around to the captain to congratulate him. Nightcliff 4-2-26, Wanderers 3-3-21, 20 minutes gone.
They're just getting the numbers around the ball and pushing forward in waves, Nightcliff. So, you know, Wanderers really need to make sure that they man up and they push with their player as well, and just don't leave it to the back line to try and, you know, pick up their players. But Phil Wills, where you want to be, in front, right in front of the square there, so an easy goal. When you go to rest from the midfield up full forward, that's how you love it
exactly
delivered.
what you want.
Fortunately, I didn't get it delivered like that today, but there's hope yet.
There's hope yet.
Show him this tape,
Oh,
Tash.
yeah,
Show him this
I
tape in
am.
training.
This is how I'm meant to rest when I go forward.
Tigers in the lead, 26 plays, 21, 20 minutes gone. The umpire tosses the ball high. The mullet, Marley McGregor, wins it down from the middle. Tigers crashing in. No clean possession yet. The Eagles toss it out wide. Ball pushed towards half forward, but Marley McGregor goes in again, reels it off to Jonathan Peris, kicks forward to the advantage of Brodie Philo. In pursuit is Daniel Fuller. Philo gathers, kicks from 45 and misses to the right-hand side. He has just got exquisite skills, Brodie Philo. He really does. Uses the ball so well.
His balance is unbelievable. His
Left and
balance,
right.
yeah.
So it's Wanderers now who trying to get some run out through the outer ring of the broadcast area. They're over in front of the scoreboard. Totham is in hot pursuit. A number of players around the ball, and it's going to go in for a throw-in directly in front of the Marara scoreboard. So in ruck for Nightcliff, it is McGregor. He wins the ball out, kicks it out of the air, goes inside the forward 50, up and under. Probably looked like a push out there from Hagan, but play on. And in the middle for Nightcliff at the top of the square is Hagan. Big handball over, and a good work there from Wanderers Totham, trying to harass the players. Whirling around though, on his right, high fives before it goes through is Sitsis. Sitsis with the snap-on goal, directly in front helped. And as he gets a high five from 5 players, there's 4 Wanderers players already over on their haunches. Their defence is doing a mountain of work. It's Nightcliff 33, Wanderers 21. Not far until the final siren for the first quarter.
Yeah, good second and third effort here by Michael Hagan. So he's gone in once, goes in and twice. Good hand pass over the top as well. Drops the footy, another hand pass in there. So just teamwork. Look at the numbers by Nightcliff. Just getting the numbers into that forward 50, and Wanderers' defence are just struggling.
Wanderers again needing the quick response here. Charging in there for the Eagles was Nook Mansell. Stacks on the mill, the umpire says play on. Tigers trying to barge their way out of it. And the umpire says I will have it in the middle of the ground. Has to go back in and pick up the footy for himself. McGregor to go up against Ashley Hood. And the whistle from behind the play. A free kick here going to the Eagles for a hold. So the free kick here to McLean, plays on quickly, goes towards half forward. Mark taken. Mark taken there by Tyrell Louis. No mark taken at centre half forward. Davin Ferreira did well to wrestle the ball away. Jeffrey goes high. 3-4 defenders around the footy. Tackle laid, dropping the footy surely. Through for a behind. How was that not dropping the ball? Well, it's not. The umpires have made the decision. Tigers have played on quickly. The ball taken close to the boundary line there for the Tigers. Marked by Blake Brewer, a good player for them. Swings it inboard. Tigers looking to work their way through defence. That's a terrible kick. Goes to Caleb Nicky. He was taken high clearly. Ball spills here to Kane Riley. Running on the outer side. Poor kick again. Marcus Totham, can he grab cleanly? No, he can't. Paddles it on the ground, does well to Ferreira. Little chip out wide on centre wing, looking for Nook Mansell. He's beaten for pace. Close to the boundary line, the Tigers tap it straight over. There'll be a boundary throw-in at left half forward, favouring the Eagles. The Tigers in the lead at the 23.5-minute mark. 5-3-33. The Eagles 3-4-22.
And so it's Hood for Nightcliff up in the ruck.
Taking it again.
There's some sloppy play. Lots being left here at the moment. We're still on the broadcast wing. That has to be high. That has to be high. And Wanderers, Collie, taken high there by Nightcliff Tigers' last goal scorer, Sitsis.
Got a player on the middle here.
Coley chose to find him. Probably took a little too long going back to the mark. Goes over the head of Jonathan. He's got a mountain of work to do, and he's not able to. It's Nightcliff Tigers with the turnover through Daniel Bowles, and he puts it out over to the broadcast wing, and it's a foot race now, but mopped up by Wanderers, and it is Braden McLean. McLean puts it down towards Keelan Fijo, and he is in a good contest there and just sees it over the line. Outer side area, just in front of the scoreboard.
Fijo has a lot of speed, and the Nightcliff player just slightly tapped it over the boundary line to get the boundary throw in, because you wouldn't want to go one-on-one with Keelan Fijo.
Ruck contest now. Ashley Hood up against McGregor. And a free kick paid out of that contest, and that'll go the way of the Tigers. The mullet himself, Marley McGregor. Marley Mullet McGregor, here he is. The big kick, straight down centre wing. The fly was from Trent Melville. That was an unrealistic attempt, not called by the central umpire. The Eagles on the burst now. Motlop receiving the footy. Kick up towards half forward. Jonathan Perris charging through. Tigers trying to regain possession here. The ball out the back to Philip Wills. That's good play. Now handballs forward to Philo. Back to his captain in Wills. Just slipped over there momentarily. The ball comes into the hands of the Eagles. The ball is kicked forward into the forward pocket. Taken here by Jeffrey. Keeps it in play. Sockers it to his advantage initially, but socketed it out of bounds on the full. So a free kick to the Tigers in the right back pocket.
He did well there, Joel Jeffrey, but unfortunately he's I think Caleb Nicky was coming over to help him, but probably wasn't talking to him enough. He could have tapped it back in.
Dirksen now with a short kick to Philo. Philo from fullback. And that doesn't matter. It's not going to be needed much more. So Nightcliff at quarter time. Nightcliff 5-3-33, leading Wanderers 3-4-22. And, well, just even that last bit of passage, some tired bodies, but probably overplayed it a little bit, Nightcliff, in their defensive area. Probably lucky not to get points scored against them with that.
Yep.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel wherever you feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, come in and see it. Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store. Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Degrees still here, local time at 8:11 at night. And that voice you can hear there shaking her head is Natasha Medbury, because she played at 3 o'clock.
I'm actually still cooking to the point where that your body just can't actually come down unless you went into ice baths, which there are none around here. But I just feel like I'm still cooking. A lot of the girls, we had a function on tonight at the club, a lot of the girls haven't gone because they're actually sick from the sun. So
heat stroke.
Yeah, and I probably should be drinking a lot more water after the game. I know I drank lots before the game, but
you don't even nearly feel like it too, do you?
My head just feels like it's cooking still.
Okay.
Like sizzling. My brain is sizzling.
Not good. It was a very warm day here. It's still warm, 30 degrees at 11:08. Underway second quarter, Dominic McCormack.
Ashley Hood won the ruck tap out. Coming through very strongly for the Eagles was Luke Dyer. Nightcliff now behind the footy. Little handball off to Brody Filer, and there's a sizzling left foot pass to Winter Irving. He dropped it, but he went back in and got it again. Hand pass didn't find a target. Coming through strongly was Dyer. He's tackled by Philip Wills. Socket off the ground there by Coco Nicky. Ball went sideways to Fijo. That's Ronald Fijo. He laid the tackle, then a high tackle laid against Braden McLean. He played it beautifully. He meant to receive that free kick, and then his kick has gone out of bounds on the full as Edward Colley tried to take the mark. The ball tossed over here to Jermaine Hurd.
Just rushed it a little bit there, Braden McLean.
He did. Such a quality user of the footy. Hurd now goes backwards, goes to Jonathan Peris.
I'm really impressed with Ronald Fijo. Just watching him play for a youngster and his work rate.
Jonathan Peris passing off the ball here to Moniz Wakefield, and Jonathan Peris hopefully in the last stages of his law degree at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So should be finished at the end of this year. Well done to him when he gets through.
For those that don't know, the excitement in Dom's voice is because he's a lawyer.
Maybe very boring to some, but very important for Jonathan Peris, which is fantastic. Tigers with ball in hand here. Good chain of handballs. Cut off here by the Eagles. Here he goes, that man, Ronald Fijo. Didn't steady with ball in hand and kicks the ball out of bounds on the full.
I pumped up his tyres and he let me down.
Yes, they were too pumped up. That's what happened.
But no, playing well. And Wanderers also are missing in the middle their driving force, Thomas Motlop and Jared Erlandson, which are two quality players from the midfield. You can just probably see that a little bit out there at the moment.
I think Thomas Motlop is due back next week from a holiday as the ball is kicked down the broadcast wing and a huge fist from behind from Jeffrey. That's Jordan Jeffrey, sees it over right in front of the Nightcliff Tigers dugout. It'll be tossed back in. Winter Irvine up against Hood from Wanderers. 33-22, it's Nightcliff Tigers in front. Winter Irvine drops it down to Philo, gives it off to Willis. We'll be calling that all night. Willis puts it just inside the forward 50. Mopped up though for the Wanderers in Fuller, but back inside over Nightcliff. And a running back, very courageous effort. And he's dropped it onto his boot. And that is what you want from Hagan.
Coco Nicky.
Coco Nicky. And he has got a magnificent goal. The ball down towards his legs, and he was able to do it around the boot legs.
It started here. That hand pass by Brodie Philo was a ripper. Absolutely rocketed it out.
Here goes Hagan.
There's Hagan, gets around. I think he tried to square that up a little bit more, but dropped the mark he probably should have taken, but he cleaned up well in the end. Coco Nicky just gets it through. Close to that post there, but a goal's a goal.
Didn't he do that beautifully? And Brodie Philo, I said earlier on that he's not one really to go in and get his own footy a lot. That's normally the Cameron Islet role. Well, Cameron Islet's not there tonight. Philo doing it brilliantly. Winter Irving wins it out of the ruck. Went to Luke Dyer for the Eagles. He kicks forward, reaches 50. Tiger defence attacking Fijo. That's Ronald. Let go of the footy. Now he has an opportunity. Comes back to him. He handballed to Marcus Totham, but held in the tackle was Daniel Bowles. Unfortunately, those Tiggy Touchwood free kicks at times is given away. Shouldn't be done.
Shouldn't be done, no. So just Wanderers here just need to calm the storm.
So Daniel Bowles here, left halfback, quality player for the Tigers. Another of their left footers.
Look at that.
And look at that for a beautiful kick. Finds Kane Riley. Handballs on immediately to the receiver in Philo. Drills it into attacking 50. Finds Hagan. He handballs off. Handball comes back to him at 45 metres. Lowered the eyes. Kick wasn't quite good enough. Defence from Brenton Motlop was great. Now the Eagles back on the counter-attack. Ball out wide goes towards Darren Allen. Can he pick it up at centre wing? He can. Feigns the handball. Now the kick up towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball spills at half forward. Fijo came in and Keelan couldn't take a possession. Now the Eagles kick forward. Marcus Totham underneath the footy. So too there is Jermaine Hurd. Handballs backwards. Pressure still on here. Joel Jeffrey wraps up his opponent.
Oh, he's given away the free kick.
The umpire says it was a high tackle.
It was there, and now he's given away 50.
Joel Jeffrey, he just has to be cleaner and better than that. And now he's given away another one. His captain or his coach and runner need to get out and talk to him immediately, because this is a 16-year-old with a little bit too much attitude here for mine.
And he nearly impeded him again, so he could potentially go all the way down here.
So this is a free kick and a 100-metre penalty, which...
he's lucky he didn't give away 150 then.
Well, just not good enough, really. The long kick now, straight down into attacking 50 for the Nightcliff Tigers. Off hands, wheeling around, Hagan, little handball. And that is through for a goal. The goal kicker, James Cetus, has kicked his second. And the umpire coming in here to have a few words, because it's gotten a bit heated. Doesn't matter for the Nightcliff Tigers. They have put another goal on the board. So the Tigers move out here, 7-3-45. Wanderers stuck on their quarter-time score of 3-4-22.
And after all, that's a good kick in here after the 100-metre penalty. So put their defenders, the Wanderers defenders, under the pump again. Michael Hagan gets a hand pass over and just an easy snap-on goal by Cetus. But again, no runner went to Joel Jeffrey. So just a young player, just needs to keep his cool. He's such an important player to Wanderers.
So Winter Irvine wins the tap, and there's a whistle gone, and that's because of the numbers. The 666 has not been adhered to, and Wanderers Totham is putting his hands up, and it's the obvious one. There's not enough in the middle. So the umpire puts the ball down. Forsyth, the young man from Western Australia, goes and tells the ruck from Wanderers that it's at before Christmas, I'm told. It's only a warning. Up in the middle again, still won by Winter Irvine. Not able to be gathered at his feet by Philo, but he does get a ball up and under tapped up in the air by Jonathan Sattler. And it's now still the Nightcliff Tigers looking to go forward inside their forward 50. And it's a great juggling mark from the Wanderers. Not paid. So Nightcliff Tigers, it's getting messy here in their forward line. It's Motlop that's going to try and clear it out. He just bowls over a player. He's injured down in the back play. I'll get you to keep an eye on that, Tash. Ball still on the ground. Numbers with Wanderers if they can clear it out. Over the ball with his head ducked down.
They're down 2 players at the moment, Wanderers, because they're both on the ground. Brenton Motlop and Braden McLean both just got up very gingerly and very sore.
So it was at the bottom of that pack, and free kick to Fuller. He goes to the outer side. Left back pocket. They try and come down through the middle. Nicky, and a great mark from behind that's been spoiled for Nicky. It is pushed in the back from Keelan Fijo. He fell over, but picked up by Nightcliff Tigers. Now they're away, back inside their forward 50.
Well
Great
done.
mark at
Jordan
the front.
Jeffrey, I think.
Jeffrey.
Well done. Read that really well.
So Jordan Jeffrey now plays on, goes backwards. The Eagles needing to steady here. The long kick out wide, looking for Edward Colley. Not going to find him, but it will find the boundary line. Right half forward here for the Tigers, who are really pressing.
They
Tash.
are, and the Wanderers are just hanging in at the moment. Anything can break at the moment. They really need the next goal because their heads are going to go down if Nightcliff get the next goal.
Nightcliff
It's hard to come back.
Really on the press, and that was why Joel Jeffrey doing what he did was just such a negative. Ball comes to the back of the pack. Quick kick up inside 50. The pack split. Nice shove out there, not called by the umpire. Wrestling for it there was Harry Williams at the bottom of the pack. Now a long kick towards goals is errant and off to the left-hand side.
Yeah, that should have been a free kick to Tyrell Louis there. Philip Wills was not going for the marking contest and absolutely shoved him out the way.
So quick kick in from Wanderers, short in their right back pocket. They just play it forward to a little one to Louis. He holds it up on their defensive 50, comes down the broadcast wing, looking for the man in Keenan.
Tackle.
Good tackles being laid left, right and centre here, but it's Nightcliff that are able to come through Monis Wakefield in the middle of the park. Tight footy, still in the centre square, no one able to get it.
In danger,
and kicking in danger, rightly so. There's going to be a free kick going towards the Wanderers player.
He just has nothing to kick to. They've got no run. They're trying to create run now as Clarence Baird.
So Keenan tries to come down and it's picked up by Keelan Fijo. He gets it out. It's a one-on-one battle, and what can Ferreira do here? He's down on the ground. Desperation here, but Nightcliff Tigers still not out of trouble. Nightcliff Tigers handball over the top, coming just outside their forward, their back 50. They go along the outer wing, and it's a wayward kick caught by Wanderers, who turn it over. They come inboard to Fuller. Fuller looks to change play. He goes inboard again, and he spots up Braden McLean. Trying to switch it over, but it's a wrong kick between 2 Wanderers players, and it's Kidney who has an ugly kick in the middle. And what can they do here through their captain, Wills, right directly in the middle of the park?
Can Philip Wills clean it up? Well, he's kicked it out wide, looking out there for Matthew Bricknell. And
that was a comedy of errors there.
Could not pick it up himself because it just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and it's out of bounds.
Wanderers had the right idea to switch the play. Braden McLean had it. He had no one running out here, and the only player that was running for him was a Nightcliff player, and he hit him on the chest. Then they rebounded, went into the midfield, and just a bit of comedy of errors here, just lack of kicking skills.
Ruck contest from the boundary throw in. Ball on the ground picked up there by Jonathan Sattler. Little chip kick out wide. Looking out here for Clarence Baird. Picked up by Hurd for the Tigers. Ball dropped on the ground there by the Tigers player. Trying to burrow his way through there is McGregor. Now the ball pushed forward. Nook Mansell, that's a great up and under handball. Got it to Fijo. Now the Eagles are away, running here through centre wing. Nice chip up here towards Jeffrey. He thought the player in front of him was going to have a crack at it. He didn't. He got the handball back to Jeffrey. Snap on goal. Bounces through.
That's what he needs to do.
That's why he's so good, but he also has to keep his discipline. Well done to Joel Jeffrey. That's a great kick from outside 50. The Eagles, much needed goal. They move on to 4-4-28, trailing the Tigers 7-3-45, 11 and a half gone in this second quarter.
Yeah, for such a young player, just the talent that he shows, but good work here by Wanderers to get it in. He could have probably taken the mark, but got a bit confused with his forward line player and just looks at the goals, kicks it on the right boot, around the body, from 50, and it bounces through, got the lucky bounce. So that's what he needs to do more of. Like you said, Dominic, don't worry about the discipline stuff, lead by example, because that's the skills that he shows.
So for Wanderers, number 13, Nicky's in the middle up against McGregor for Nightcliff. Both of the main ruckmen having a break. Ball thrown up in the middle. It is McGregor that wins the toss down. Tries to go and get the ball again. Still running it after McGregor. He's rucked and now he's roved as well. Slips over, picks it up, goes inside the forward 50. He's doing all the work there. And it's slippery out there at the moment. A couple of players have just lost their footing. And for Nightcliff Tigers, Williams has it down. Gives it off to Williams. Willis on the left, and it's gone over towards the outside post, but it was taken on the last line of defence mark from Wanderers, and it is going out the outer side, fisted over easily from a Nightcliff player.
Jonathan Paris. He's done well, centre-half back. He's reading the footy really, really well, and they just can't get it in there at the moment, Wanderers, but when they do, they look dangerous.
I thought Philip Wills might have had a better crack on his left foot from the pocket there. But
I think he was trying to run away from his defender first, but his little legs didn't take him.
This is much an in-swinger.
Boundary throw in now. Taken here by Brodie Philo. Gets it away on the right boot. Long kick inside 50. Dangerous kick. No mark taken. Good contest there. Brenton Motlop now coming on and putting a bit of pressure on against Liam Holt-Fitz. The ball out of bounds deep in the right forward pocket. The umpire to take that and toss it back in. 13 minutes gone in this second quarter. Wanderers trailing 28 to Nightcliff 45.
They've done well to hold up Nightcliff at the moment.
Boundary throw in now. Big men here to go at it. The ball tossed straight over the back. Holt-Fitz gathers in space, wheels around on the left. Looks pretty happy with that. That's straight through for a goal. Another goal on the board. Nightcliff, they move on to 51, Wanderers 28.
Cheney medalist from last year. Liam Holt-Fitz, right place at right time, and again, the ruckman just didn't read what the flight of that footy that with the boundary throw and went at the back, bounced on the ground, and Liam Holt-Fitz, here he goes, picks it up.
Couldn't believe how much time he had.
Has all the time in the world to get on his left foot and kick it through. So that was the goal that Wanderers did not want Nightcliff to get, because they were pushing and pushing and pushing, and they finally got the goal that they're after. They really need to reply straight away here, Wanderers. They don't want the game to get away.
Winter Irvine back on for Nightcliff, back into the ruck duties, up against Nicky for Wanderers.
Look at the height difference for you.
Ball tossed up in the middle. Winter Irvine catches it easily, but only as far as Louis from Wanderers puts it on the boot. An ugly bouncing ball. No one can gather it at the moment. Still at the front of the centre square in favour of Nightcliff, but now it's Wanderers trying to make way through traffic, and it is the man Holtz, it is Dre with the afro. He gets it down the broadcast wing, not able to be picked up. Paris overruns it for Nightcliff. He has it back, little chip forward. And a Nightcliff player has run in front of the umpire. It looks like Hagan down there. He's still pleading. It was a beautiful lead.
He needs
Paris.
He needs to be careful. Even though the umpire got in his way, he actually grabbed him and went to push him to the side. So that he might be... I didn't think you were allowed to do that to an umpire, so that might come under the tribunal, I think.
That's a fair call. The umpire was running back, had only eyes to get out of the way. He can't see what's behind him. So a clash there that we might be discussing a little later. It's Wanderers, though, that are trying to get it to their advantage, but it is rushed over the sideline by Daniel Bowles, directly in front of their Nightcliff interchange. A couple of players are using that as their advantage and swapping. But Dom, this is getting a lot of tired bodies out there in this second quarter.
They're looking buggered already, aren't they?
They are.
15 minutes in.
Winter Irving wings it down. Only as far as Collie for Wanderers initially, but then the Tigers take over. Daniel Bowles, the smooth-moving machine through the midfield, passes it off beautifully to Coco Nicky. He's certainly starting to wind up. That's a lovely kick there to left half forward. Finds a teammate there in the form of Caleb Walker. And who does he spot up? Bowles, just moving forward. Now he finds himself at half forward.
He's got the distance as well, Bowles.
A good player is Daniel Bowles. Uses the ball beautifully. Michael Hagan coming to the bench for the Tigers. Great to see him back, and gee, he's had a good first half so far. So Bowles now, left of centre, taking the responsibility, called to play on, long booming kick, veers away, almost marked there on the line, but through for a behind to the right-hand side. So the Tigers, they move on to 8-5, 53. Wanderers 4-4, 28, 16 and a half gone in the second.
4-goal advantage for Nightcliff Tigers. They kicked 5 in the first quarter. They've kicked 3 in this third quarter to Wanderers 1 goal in the second term. The ball is on the ground. There's going to be a free kick.
That's very
a high
unlucky.
Going against Louis from Wanderers. Quickly played on from Nightcliff Tigers. Put inside by Williams, and it can't be picked up. Now mopped up by Wanderers. Quick kick down only as far as the ruckman for Tigers in Winter Irvine. He puts it back into the middle. Finds an unmarked Butterick. Butterick slows up play. A lot of leads in front of him. This just makes the paint of 50.
That was a good kick.
That was a brilliant kick.
But it wasn't able to be marked and put down there by Melville. Now it's Wanderers trying to get it out of their left back. A little handball over
Just
to himself. I thought he was trying to find Fijo, I'm pretty sure.
He needs to hold it up. He doesn't have many numbers forward.
That's Hood. Hood gets it off down inside their forward 50. A few tired players. It's Jeffrey that's been crashed into by his own player in the left forward pocket.
And then he's won the free kick because the Nightcliff players crashed into him after that.
That's Joel Jeffrey now with the free kick. That will be a shot on goal. He's just checking out his leg at the moment. But it looked like two Wanderers players.
He did. He went to run around and actually ended up taking his own player out in Joel Jeffrey, but I think then a Nightcliff player's come over the top as well, and that's where the umpires found the high.
I'd like to see that again. I would like to see it again.
Joel Jeffrey runs over the paint of 50, hugging the boundary in the left forward pocket. Lovely strike of the ball, and it is hit the post.
He's got a lovely kicking style, Joel Jeffrey. Absolutely brilliant kicking style.
Wanderers 28, trailing Nightcliff 53.
Tigers bring the ball back into play. Long kick down centre wing. Winter Irving up against Hood. Winter Irving had it momentarily. Then Hood got a little grubber kick away. Cut off here by the Tigers. Handball comes into Bowles. Kick up towards centre wing. Almost taken by McGregor. Hits the ground. Now the Eagles through a chain of handballs. Still stuck on centre wing. Kick comes away here. Taken by Coco Nicky. Darting inboard was Williams. He's dumped to the ground, and a free kick paid. It will go to Coco Nicky against Nook Mansell, I think. So Nook Mansell at centre wing now. Coco Nicky just a kick inboard. The Tigers with heaps of players spare here. Philip Wills received the handball from Brewer. Goes down to full forward. No mark taken. Pressure coming here from the Tigers. Dre Thompson couldn't handle for the Eagles. Quick kick out goes through half back. The Eagles tapping it forward here. They couldn't take it cleanly. Caleb Walker gathered, got it away to a teammate in Cetus.
No numbers for Wanderers here.
Got it forward, chain of handballs again. Cetus did beautifully. Got it away here to a teammate in Brewer. Brewer still with the footy. Got it away by hand. Cetus chasing after it, looking for a free kick. Jonathan Perris ducking in, so too Nook Mansell got the handball away. Walker got it up towards centre wing and just hanging onto the mark for the Eagles there. Keenan Smith-Thompson kicks it forward. Eagles, no eyes for the footy. The umpires have put away the whistle here. Winter Irving gets a handball away.
Oh, good pick up.
Eagles almost with the good pick up. Didn't quite complete it. There was Colley. Marcus Totham belting it on. Now the ball kicked forward by the Tigers. Marcus Totham over the footy, gathers it, little bit of pace, kicks it to a dangerous position. Riley left his opponent, battles the ball forward, did beautifully there. Lovely paddle. Now out the back towards Riley again. On the up.
Brilliant.
Handball brilliantly. The Tigers now looking to settle. Mark taken by James Cetus, and he will steady at right half back for the Tigers. And now he's given a 50-metre penalty.
They're just dropping their head here, Wanderers, and the discipline is creeping in. They had the numbers in the forward 50 then, but just the endeavour by the Nightcliff defenders got the footy out.
So it's played on, and there is an, as Tash just said, Nightcliff, all the players. Nicky just drops it in to centre half forward to Philip Wills. Puts his hand up straight away. He's directly in front, 40 metres out, goes and checks the mark, walks back casually, digs his foot in the ground, and he knows about 5 metres from the man on the mark where he's going to kick it.
This will test him. Just around that 20-metre zone where the footy went in, there was 3 Nightcliff Tigers on their own.
So the captain for Nightcliff looking to get another one on the board. 40 directly in front. A big up and under, and it's just gone to the right.
And the bad news for Wanderers is that Daniel Fuller's come off and has ice on his left shoulder down there. So let's see if he will be back after halftime. I'll keep an eye on that.
Braden McLean now to bring the footy in for the Eagles. Kick is a long one. And Winter Irving was the one who crashed in there trying to take the mark. Lays a tackle and sees the ball out of bounds. So a boundary throw in, about 80 around from the Tigers' goal. Left half forward, Morris Rioli grandstand side.
They just need to try and stop this press here by Nightcliff. They do not want to give away another goal here, Wanderers, to go into half-time. They still have probably another 3 or 4 minutes left to play in this quarter.
Boundary throw in again, almost over the heads of the ruckman. Goes out the back, taken there by Cetus. Geez, having a good match up towards Brewer.
well done.
Trapped it magnificently to Brewer. Puts it onto the chest of Philip Wills. He thought
about
momentarily about playing on 40 from goal. But he's taken the mark and stopped himself.
He just had a shot from a similar position, so he should know what to get right this time.
He didn't need to stamp the ground there because his mark from the previous shot was still there and almost exactly the same spot.
But he did. He thought about going.
What has he learnt, Philip Wills? Well, he's not taking anywhere near as much time. Kick on the way.
He's
he
got
didn't
across
learn
the other side.
much at all because he's pushed it off to the left-hand side this time. Nightcliff 8-7-55, Wanderers 4-5-29. 23 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Braden McLean with the kick-in duties, runs straight out of the defensive square, goes over to the outer side of the broadcast wing. They're going down the area of the scoreboard. Looks up for Ferreira. He's caught behind, and so much so that it's a push out from Ferreira at the back. And so Nightcliff Tigers will have a free kick directly below the scoreboard. Bricknell decides to go back down the outside wing.
Good mark.
Good mark.
Great juggling mark.
Melville, I think it was.
From Melville. Melville kicks it over Motlop, up to centre half forward. Players fly up, numbers for Wanderers, but it falls down to the feet of Nicky, and they're not able to pick it up. And so it is Nightcliff at halftime, 8-7-55, leading Wanderers 4-5-29. And it is two sides that are very, very tired. Having a look at Wanderers' body language, Tash walking off.
Yep.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's making job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
every Wednesday night, as we welcome everyone to all of the broadcast streams that we are broadcasting on. Great to have your company. Shannon Byrne alongside Natasha Medbury and also Dominic McCormack. And we are talking about all of the new initiatives that the NTFL have for season 2019-2020. Under 10 started this Wednesday night. Division 2 for the Women's League started as well this week. And rightly so. The great news out of it all is that the AFL NT umpire ranks have been bolstered. 100 more AFL umpires registered for this season alone. 275 registered. And the game that we have being officiated in front of us, where it is Nightcliff Tigers 8-7-55, the reigning premiers leading Wanderers 4-5-29. We have an AFL umpire here for this week and next. So he would be enjoying his time out in the middle. And welcome to very, very warm Darwin to umpire John Horwath, who is now walking out on the field. He's got number 5 on his back, holding the ball aloft. He was the umpire in the VFL last year, their grand final, and promoted to AFL this year. Also there is Jamison Galbraith wearing number 3. NTFL last season grand final umpire. He also has umpired in the NEFL for 3 years and won ABC umpire of the year. And number 15 is Western Australian umpire Mitch Forsyth. Had him on my sports program today. 19-year-old player.
Jeez, that's young, isn't it?
And he just loves it, and his aim and his pathway, and he admires every Western Australian umpire that has umpired at the
That's great, isn't it?
AFL level. It was just remarkable to hear. 12 to 16 Ks in a game they run. Now it's still 30 degrees. And what time are we locally? 10 minutes to 9 o'clock.
Well, maybe the AFL umpire is up here. So John Holdsworth, maybe he's going to be the allocated umpire that comes up when the Suns play up here. So maybe they're getting him a bit of conditioning and
early,
and
very early,
and used to the ground maybe. So that might be method in their madness there.
It is umpire round, so we have had a lot of celebrations, and rightly so. So 3 junior umpires walked out with the senior umpire, central umpires today. Dean Dempsey tossed the coin at the 5:30 match. Ashley Manakaris, very well-known former umpires, got the duties as well. So nice for them to be recognised. As we have a look now, Dom, and the Nightcliff Tigers just out of their air-conditioned room.
Yes, the Nightcliff Tigers in a group. Chris Buck's given them some final instructions before they take the field for this second half. You know, to me, he'd be saying to them, let's have more of that. Let's keep going. And let's make sure that we don't take our foot off the pedal. I don't think he'd be saying this, but I think in his mind, and probably in some of the senior players' minds, they know that they're a whisker away from cracking the Eagles here. The Eagles were in disarray towards the end of that second quarter. They're moments away from doing that. And this third quarter could get quite ugly, I think, for the Eagles, if Nightcliff keep doing that.
And that's what we say. Third quarter can be the championship quarter. And Tash, it looks like a little bit that the Wanderers are on the ropes at the moment. If we want to put into it a boxing match, they're on the ropes right now.
Shannon Motlop needs to make some changes just to either create a spark. I don't know what sort of changes. There's not that much experience out there.
That's the difficult part.
For Wanderers. Like I said, so Thomas Motlop and Jared Erlinson are missing from that midfield. Nook Mansell's in there with his experience, but probably more a backline player than a midfielder, like a centre-half back. So, you know, they've got the speed, they've got the youth, but unfortunately the bigger bodies of Nightcliff, with the thumping kicks forward that they're gaining, like 50 and 60-metre passes, and they're hitting their teammates on the chest. So that seems to be the difference at the moment, is the skill level and the fitness.
Well, it's going to be tested again. It is currently 29 degrees, 73% humidity, and we are nearing 9 o'clock at night here in Darwin, and the sun has well gone, but it was such a hot day today. Even on Thursday, the heat wave, and AFLNT, along with the Bureau of Meteorology, were in discussion. They decided today that the 2:30 match, their breaks would be longer, and that allowed them to have more time in the shade.
It helped.
And did help?
It was, with the women, it's 5-minute breaks for the first quarter and the third quarter, and 10 for half-time. But it was 8 minutes. I think they actually let us get out to about 10 minutes, to be honest. But with the first quarter and the third quarter, and 20 minutes at half time. And Yeah, we went over to the shade and that we didn't have to stay on the field during those breaks. We could leave the field for all of the breaks and go under the shade. And they also had big fans. So usually there's big fans on Oval 1, but not Oval 2. Oval 2, they had 2 big steel industrial fans at each interchange box that the girls were fighting over when we came off. Power and Water actually set up a whole heap of drink stations over on Oval 2 as well. So there was a lot of water to be had by everyone.
Isn't it terrific that this is taken so seriously?
Oh, yeah.
There would have been years gone by where you effectively would have just been told, I'll just go out and play. So what if it's hot? Toughen up, go and do it. No, we understand now what effect it has on people, whether it's male or female, and the NTFL taking it really seriously and putting these things in place. I think it's terrific.
And in the Men's Premier League as well, all season they're going to have at the 2:30 game an extra central umpire, so there'll be 4 out on the field as well, because yes, when you hear from what the umpires what they're going through, 12 to 16 kilometres in a match. And they then have to have, we've talked about it, the fitness, but also the decision-making all the time. And as a player, you can kind of dip in and out. And I even spoke to Cameron Eilert, who's missing this game as well, that, he said when it's a 2:30 hot game, you kind of pick which ball you go for. You become a little smarter. You shorten your angles that you're running, and you maybe don't go for everything that you normally would. Well, umpires certainly can't do that. They'll get caught out.
And then you've got to feel for Tiwi. They get the 2:30 games because of the, coming over and going back over to the island. So they get the 2:30 games with a bit more condition. So when a team comes up to playing them at 2:30, they actually have the advantage, believe it or not. You would think that no team would have an advantage, but they play a lot of the 2:30 games, and to play that time if you're not used to it, I tell you what, it's a killer.
Tiwi are practically going to freeze next week because they have to play the 7:30 game. It's going to be so cold for Tiwi next week.
They haven't played a late game for a long time.
No, not
they actually play the Eagles next week at this time.
And that will be our match for broadcast.
But
so
they won't know what they're doing. They're playing under lights next week.
And it's
and I've got 2:30 again. That's a killer. I've got the 2:30 game, so I'm going to be cooking again.
42 degrees.
We'll make sure we bring more water. I feel very, very bad. But it is the second half about to get underway. Nightcliff Tigers 8-7-55, Wanderers 4-5-29. Ball is held aloft. Dominic McCormack for the second half action.
For the Eagles, Ashley Hood takes his place in the middle up against Kyle Winter-Irving. Both men up high. Winter-Irving wins it down easily. Fijo, that's Keelan, gets after it, couldn't quite grab hold of it cleanly. Nightcliff have possession at centre half forward. Ball trickles out the back of the pack. Keelan Fijo couldn't get a kick away. The ball comes back into that pack, and the umpire blows the whistle and says, I will have it again at centre half forward. Harry Williams gets up, so too Braden McLean. Umpire tosses the ball up high quickly. Winter-Irving gathers. Brodie Philo somehow got a foot to the footy, but he kicked it in the direction that the Eagles are running in. The ball socket further forward in that way. Kane Riley gathered in a tackle by Marcus Totham, thrown to ground. The ball spills forward. Picking it up here is James Cetus. Gets it off to a teammate nicely there in Tyson Kidney. His kick forward was cut off. Keelan Fijo can't find the handle. Harry Williams, in fact it's Lee Evans, he couldn't come out of a tackle easily. Now Williams gathered in a tackle, well done there by Matthew Motlop. Kick forward for the Eagles, not marked by McLean, off hands. Now gathering, Bricknell fires on goal. Brenton Motlop just gets a fingernail to it. And through for the first score of the third quarter. A point to the Tigers. They go to 56, leading the Eagles 29.
Bit of concern from Braden McLean as well. Hurt his ankle in a marking contest, so just hobbling away at the moment. But it's Wanderers going through the middle of the park through Dyer. Dyer kicks off down, tries to find Sattler. Sattler, though, is being harassed, but it's poked forward. Still in advantage of Wanderers. Sattler picks it up inside the forward 50, right pocket, shot on goal. Ferreira with the shepherd through, and Ferreira has helped Sattler bring up his first goal for the game, and it was great work again inside the last line, and he has just got the Nightcliff defender out of the way, and Sattler picks up a much needed goal for Wanderers. 35 trailing Nightcliff 56.
Exactly what what Wanderers needed to start this third quarter. Good work here, just to follow up, kick it off the ground, just a slight kick as well, just to get it moving forward. Wanderers are good when the ball's moving forward, a little bit of time, kicks it to the top of the square, and it bounced through, which is good body work by Davin Ferreira, wasn't it?
Off hands now from the ruck contest. Luke Dyer takes it away from the middle of the ground. Riley up high, couldn't take the mark. Centre half forward here for the Eagles. Marcus Tottenham in there. So too Williams again. Now the ball out wide. Bowles, the beautiful left foot up towards Brewer. Motlop shoved him away, but it was in fact straight into the footy. Now the Tigers. Good kick inboard. That's a beauty. And Evans, I think it might be, who has taken the mark in the corridor directly in front of goal, will have his shot from about 45.
You can't do much as a defender about a kick coming into your forward line like that. That was a brilliant low spearing kick straight to his chest.
So Evans now crosses the paint of 50, just to the left of centre. A little bit of a stuttering approach. Kick on its way. And
Snuck
through
it in
for the immediate response. So Liam Evans kicks his second goal for the game. He had one in the first and now one in the third quarter. Wanderers 5-5-35. Nightcliff, however, moving on now to 9-8-62.
He's playing Brenton Motlop on him as well. He's just got a little bit too much speed for Brenton Motlop at the moment. So just going to see if they make a change down there, because Jordan Jeffrey's gone back to fullback. Played a good game so far, but they've got Tyrell Louis back in the back line. Daniel Fuller hasn't come back on after half time, so it looks like he is out for the rest of the game. So they're down one rotation already, Wanderers.
Hood and Winter Irvine. Winter Irvine wins it down, but only as far as Keelan Fijo. He gets a kick away to Coley. Coley tries to get it forward, but it's a Nightcliff Tigers still trying to get it out of their defensive 50, and they're going to be able to do that over on the left. Oh no, Wanderers, great pressure, and he has been awarded a free kick. So Nightcliff Tigers are looking to play on the outside wing, and it is going to go down towards their forward left pocket, but it's Wanderers picking it up through Braden McLean. Around on the right, down towards Ronald Fijo, but he's easily pushed out of the way. Paris just too good there, wasn't it? It was a little hip and shoulder to Ronald Fijo.
Good mark.
And now it's the Wanderers' turn in Braden McLean.
That was courageous, going back into the pack there.
So directly under the scoreboard, and McLean just chips it forward, finds a player who's happy just to hold it up for Wanderers. He's going to go down the line again, but it's Paris from behind. Wanderers, though, trying to get a couple of handballs out. Matthew Motlop gets it over to the right, up and under to Joel Jeffrey, juggling mark that he can't take. And it is a Wanderers players who's going to be tackled by two, and Dyer, or Allen it is, who's not able to get any advantage. Still in their forward 50 Wanderers.
Ruck contest there, one down by Hood. Ball straight to ground, tackles being laid. The Eagles almost out with it. Fijo, Ronald couldn't quite grab hold of it. Now the Tigers. Kick out of defence. Mark taken there for the Tigers by Harry Williams. At left half back, kicks long down the line. And the Tigers again with ball in hand. Sweeping handball here, looking for Liam Holt. Fitz close to the boundary line, gathers the footy, but too close to that line and takes it over. So a boundary throw in, about 65 around here from the Tigers' goal. Scoreboard side.
Sorry, Dominic. Brody Filo's gone into the forward 50 for Nightcliff, and Brenton Motlop is picking him up. There's a mismatch there.
Mismatch and a half. Handball comes out from the ruck contest. Socked away here by the Eagles. Harry Williams after it again. Gathers just forward of centre. Kicks to the fat side. And that's beautiful work there by Liam Evans. Took the ball cleanly in both hands. Looking to handball off here to Brody Filo. No one from the Eagles was awake to that. From 55 metres, he blazes away. And that is a behind.
No effort put into that kick, Brody Filo. Kicks it nearly 55 metres off one step, but looking dangerous in that 50.
Smith Thompson with a huge booming kick out to Hood. He's playing in the ruck at the moment. Takes one, takes two. Oh, the second bounce is not kind. Doesn't sit up for him. He's still trying to gather it. And it is now Nightcliff Tigers that turn it over. Hood still on the ground. Took two bounces, but the ball didn't play games. Came into Kane Riley for Nightcliff Tigers. He finds an unchecked Nicky Coco. Coco goes forward. It's just inside the forward 50 on the right there for the Nightcliff Tigers. And it's a juggling effort there from Hagan. Hagan dribbling, ugly ball. Philo on the ground. Brilliant hands. taps it forward, gets it back, gets a quick handball off to Holtz Fitz, and
Well
he
done.
is pushed over. Great defence from the
McLean.
Wanderers, Braden McLean.
That's a good smother.
Oh, he's given the free. It's a free kick
Oh.
here for a hold.
That was Brenton Motlop after the smother was taking place. There was no need for that. The ball was already out of bounds. So just that discipline again, just creeping in to Wanderers.
So Holtz Fitz with a quick chip into Brewer. Brewer directly in front on the paint of 50. Booming right kick, and it has got the journey. Heading towards the Pints end, the scoring end. Brewer off one step. Extends the lead 10-8-68 to Wanderers 5-5-35. 8 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Wasn't that a monster of a kick by Brewer?
Fantastic.
He just launched that from the 50, but again, resulted from disciplined play by Wanderers. So the free kick was given after the ball had gone out of bounds for a boundary throw, and Brenton Motlop just got rid of Coco Nicky. No, I think it was Liam Holt Fitz.
Yep.
So just ill discipline again.
Undisciplined play is so costly. So costly.
Especially when they result in goals in the back line, in the back, in defensive 50. When you're under the pump, the last thing you want to do is give away silly free kicks.
Back in the middle now, 69 plays 35. Nightcliff in the lead. The reigning premier. Up they go. Oh, the hairstyles are at it. Marley McGregor against Dre Thompson. They were battling forward at ground level as well. In fact, it was Nicky. Nicky at ground level laying the tackle. And now the players to get up after the umpire calls forward in the middle of the ground. Luke Dyer putting some pressure on behalf of the Eagles. Up goes Nicky again. Ball comes down. Cetus, he kicks quickly into forward 50. Bounces over the head of the initial line. Clears the pack. Comes to Hagan. Fires away on goal. That's sensational from Michael Hagan. Terrific effort. He kicks his first for the evening. Welcome back to NTFL footy, Michael Hagan.
That was just too easy by Nightcliff out of the centre through the corridor. This quick kick forward. Well read here by Hagan. Just goes over the top. Good tap by Evans as well, just to get it going forward, and Hagan goes in and kicks his first goal in his first game back after injury. So missed out on the grand final after he moved to Nightcliff, but it's good to see him back playing some footy. His dad was an absolute goal-kicking champion for the Buffaloes. Normie Hagan, I think he's got the record for the most kicked in a game.
So Nicky for Wanderers up in the middle against the man with the mullet. It's one down by Nightcliff, still trying to be cleared out by their captain Wills. He drops the ball, and it's still though that the Nightcliff Tigers looking to get it out. Ball on the ground, still inside the centre square. We've only gone about 10 metres in favour of Nightcliff Tigers, and we're going to have another ball up. So Nicky up against McGregor. McGregor on the ground, kicks it off the ground, trying to get it up to centre half forward for the Nightcliff Tigers. Hagan, and Hagan again whirls around, and he's kicked back-to-back goals. Hagan from 49 metres directly in front, back-to-back goals, and they celebrate rightly so. Nightcliff Tigers 12-9-81 to Wanderers 5-5-35.
And well done to the mullet, gets the tap down for Wills. Quickly got rid of the footy. Tyrell Louis just couldn't pick it up. Good work by Liam Holt Fitz to keep it going forward. And Michael Hagan, no one around him again. They're just not picking up the players around the stoppages, and they're just finding the space and the time to be able to balance and kick an easy goal in the end. They just really need to man up and just get some body on body with their opponents, the Wanderers.
Ball tossed high in the middle. Again, Marley McGregor winning it down, goes back in and has another crack at it. Gets spooked to ball just after being tackled there by Dre Thompson. Over the footy, Nook Mansell goes back to Dre Thompson. He's wrapped up in a ball and all tackle straight away on the outer wing. And the umpire says, I will have it. 81 plays 35, 11.5 down here in the third quarter. Marley McGregor up high, goes towards Caleb Walker, flicked out the back here. Philip Wills in hot pursuit. Marcus Totham gathers and handballs over his head. Dre Thompson laying a really good tackle close to the boundary line here. And the umpire says that he will have it again. They'll do it all over again. Marley McGregor to go up here against Nicky. The mullet wins over the afro. Ball out to the outer wing, very close to the boundary. And again pushed over at half forward.
I'm really impressed with Marley McGregor. Just his work. He's dropping out in the ruck, but I tell you what, he's not that tall, but he's playing his part.
And as soon as it hits the ground, he goes after it again.
He's like a midfielder.
So McGregor up against Nikki for Wanderers. McGregor at front, not contested at all by any opposition. Now it's Brody Philo puts it into centre half forward. It's Wanderers who are very much under pressure. There's more Nightcliff Tiger jumpers at the moment in their forward 50, and it's going to be the man, Monis Wakefield, gives it off to a standing start.
Probably had time to give that one off. It probably just blazed away there.
I think some of them are surprised how much time they've actually got with the
Yeah.
ball. So,
I think
like
you're
Evans
right.
there, that you expect that they're going to be tackled straight away. We saw it with Hagan at one stage. They run away from the goals trying to get away from players. No one's actually near them.
Long kick now from McLean down towards Dre Thompson. Flew high above the pack, couldn't take the footy. The Eagles keep the ball in play. Target down here is
Yeah.
Sattler.
That's not
And
holding in
he's
position, that one.
given the free kick away with a push. And Bowles, I think it is. Let's check the kicking style. That is Bowles, and that is beautiful. He phones Bridie Philo in the middle of the ground. Feigns to go one way, then the other, and of course he can, because it just doesn't matter. He can kick on either foot, and that's a beautiful kick. He's found Hagan. And will Hagan just go for a shot at goal? He just might. Left of centre, he'd be kicking from just outside 50, I reckon.
He's kicked the last two.
He's kicked the last two goals, and they've both been terrific. As the mullet comes from the ground, Marley McGregor, Michael Hagan. Here he goes, 51 metres. It's a beautiful kick off the right boot. Just fades late and along, and that's out of bounds on the full to the left. Nightcliff 12-9-81, Wanderers 5-5-35. We've gone 14 in this third quarter.
Jordan Jeffrey in the right back pocket kicks it in, and it's a nervous time now for the Wanderers. Mansell goes out further over onto the right. Still not able to go forward. They backtrack again. Right centre half back pocket picks up Sattler. Sattler just chipping it around here. Wanderers at the moment finds Keelan Fijo. He then chips it further down, but it is a couple of Wanderers players that miscommunicate, and it is a Nightcliff player.
Totham, I think.
Oh,
That's Marcus Totham. He's
up limping. Cannot put any pressure on the right foot at the moment.
No,
putting
he's
his hand up.
calling the trainers, I reckon.
Now down gone to the ground as well. Get you to keep an eye on that, Tash, as the ball's tossed back in. Winter Irvine in front against Nicky. Tosses it over the back, Winter Irvine. Tried to be picked up from the Nightcliff player. And going in there is Sattler and also Fijo. But it's Brody Philo. Weaves through traffic. Gets it off to Cetus in the middle of the park. Nightcliff Tigers come through their forward 50. Brewer is at the back, but it was great defensive work there for Wanderers. And there's a handball over to Bricknell, who has time just on the right.
Look at his
Beautiful
kicking
kick
style.
towards goal, and he has slotted it. And Bricknell, again, enough time to size up the goals slightly to the right. Beautiful kick through. Nightcliff Tigers 13-9-87. Wanderers 5-5-35. 15 minutes gone. Nightcliff have kicked 5 goals to 1 in this third term.
Matt Bricknell, usually a beautiful kick, and he showed it here. Had the time again. Look at the time. Look at the players around him. Just players all by themselves, and gets it into the goals there. Beautiful kick, and Marcus Totham has come off with that ankle injury. Doesn't look good. So if he doesn't get back on, they're down 2 players already, Wanderers.
Looking very dangerous here for the Eagles.
The floodgates are opening.
The floodgates are opening. Michael Hagan has come from the ground for a well-earned rest. He's kicked 2 goals in this third quarter. And up in ruck now, Winter Irving to go up against Caleb Nicky. Ball tossed high. Winter Irving wins it down there to Brewer. Brewer, beautiful quick handball to Philip Wills. He's offloaded by Caleb Nicky, but not before he got a long kick away towards Bricknell. Gathers near the boundary. Good tackle laid. Well done. Tackle laid there by Clarence Baird, who takes the free kick at left half back.
Pretty quiet game so far for Clarence Baird for his standards.
Now called to play on just a big up and under. Dyer was underneath it. Should have taken the mark, got both hands to it, and dropped the footy. Ball goes over the boundary line.
But in the end, up and under kick only made maybe 20 metres from where he was. Just not making the right choices here, Wanderers.
Winter Irvine and Baird, ball tossed back in directly in front of the Nightcliff interchange broadcast side. And there's a lot of jumpers for Wanderers, and they put Hurd for Nightcliff Tigers into the grass. So there'll be another ball up exactly where it was tossed in. Winter Irvine wins it down. He was up against Hood this time for Wanderers. Brewer tries to get it through. Busting through there is Cetus, and there is a push in the back after Cetus got rid of it. And the kick going against their ruck, Ashley Hood. And Cetus decides to go quickly into the middle of the park, and it's a juggling mark from Holtz Fitz. And he goes long into the forward 50, and that could have been a push in the back there, but it's going to be mopped up anyway for Wanderers through Braden McLean. But an ugly, wobbly kick, and it was Philo that nearly pounced on it, but it's Wanderers now down through the middle of the park. From behind is Fuller.
Back
and
on the
Fuller,
ground.
Yeah, it's come
that's
back.
good news, but it's Nightcliff Tigers, though, that are over in front of the scoreboard.
Sattler's gone down with cramp here for Wanderers. He can't move. The ball's gone around him and he just can't even get up for the effort.
So Liam Holt-Fitz dropping a very easy mark there as he let out in forward 50. Ball kicked forward. Taken here by the Tigers. Did not get rid of that ball cleanly, the Tiger player there in Bowles, I think it may have been. Ball kicked long down to half forward. Stopped here by Riley. Just calmly kicks forward, the mark taken. Cetus, she's had a good game. Goes forward now and finds Melville. Melville on the outer wing. Little chip, just very methodical here, the Tigers. They go to Philo. He'll have a shot from here, he's only 80 out. Drills in a lovely looking ball, looking there for Holt-Fitz. It, in fact, fell short after Dyer didn't take the mark. Now spills to Brewer. Can he get a handball away? He does. And he's now going to get a free kick because he got a push in the back. His handball came out to Coco Nicky.
He was thrown into the ground.
Yeah, Nicky got it, but Brewer was hammered into the ground. So in the corridor, directly in front, he takes a free kick with the man on the mark, 45 from goal.
Yeah, Brewer, we've seen the massive kick that he done earlier. So this is definitely within his range. The flags aren't moving too much, so he should get behind this one. But the floodgates have opened up for Nightcliff.
Grew up 51.5 metres out. That's a big kick. It's through the middle.
Well done to get on the line.
The shepherd on the mark was from Liam Evans. Well done to him. Goal to Brewer. He kicks his second of the quarter. And the Nightcliff Tigers, they move on to 14-9-93. Wanderers 5-5-35. They've kicked 2 goals, 1 since quarter time, the Eagles.
Yeah, they're stuck, aren't they, at the moment, Wanderers? Just the, again, just lacking that experience and the young players.
The midfield grunt, they just don't have the run, do they, through that midfield area? You look at who the Tigers can put in there. Coco Nicky, Philo, Wills.
They're just smashing them. Yep. And that's where they are smashing them, through the midfield.
So McGregor for Nightcliff Tigers up against Hood from Wanderers. And it is Brodie Philo, the man that's having a great game, gives it off to Nicky. He goes in forward 50 and looks for Brewer, hits him on the chest, drops a mark he should have taken. It's now the Wanderers' opportunity to mop up out of defence through Louis. Thumping kick over to the the outer wing. Great hassle from the Sattler for Wanderers. He was taken down in a very strong tackle. He's laying down on the ground, still now left cramp. His foot is cramped up, but the Wanderers are away through the middle of the park, and a great diving mark from Fuller. He gets up, quickly plays on. They're now inside their forward 50, and it's Allen with a shot on goal, and it has just snuck through for a behind. Sattler, though, still down on the ground with cramp, so the trainer only getting to him now. A couple of players late in this third quarter, and we still have another big quarter coming up, and it's Nightcliff Tigers coming out of their defensive 50.
Nightcliff up towards centre wing now. Bricknell flew for the mark, didn't take it, but pounced on it. Kicks long, they're already into inside 50. Brenton Motlop going for the mark, paddles it forward. Harry Williams takes that footy. Just gets a kick away under pressure from Brenton Motlop. Coming through strongly was Melville. Cleared apart. Williams went in strongly. So too Brenton Motlop. He gathered footy and got a handball away. Got it away here to Colley. He's tackled now by Cetus. Held up at right half forward for the Tigers. Good contest there by both teams. And the ball will be balled up here at right half forward.
Just need to try and change the tide here, Wanderers. Good tap.
One by Wanderers, but only as far as Brewer. Lots of handballs here, and it's
Wills.
Willis that just barges through traffic, gets it onto the right. Great bounce there from Evans, picked up, and a handball over to Nicky. He's got so much ways to go. Gets it on to Philo, and Philo, who wheeled around on his right, he disappoints because
he's missed a few now, hasn't he?
He had so much time then.
He picked up 2 goals in the first quarter and had a couple opportunities.
He's probably missed 3 now.
Yeah, so it is, though, Nightcliff Tigers 94 leading Wanderers 36.
Tyrell Louis brought the ball into play. Now the mark taken out wide, and there might be Baird in the right back pocket here for the Eagles. Plays on, goes with the little chip, goes to Fuller, drops the mark. Gee, they've dropped a lot of marks, the Eagles, putting themselves under pressure. Nice long kick now, comes out to Nicky. Nicky on the run, can't pick up the footy. Caught as he crossed the paint of 50. Goes back in to have another crack at it. Good contest between he and an opponent there in Buderick. Now the ball comes out through Mansell. Comes back towards Nicky. Just nothing clean about the Eagles here at all. Nicky still laying a tackle. So too Nook Mansell, and the umpire says, I will have it on the paint of 50. The Tigers get around their teammate and say, well done for holding up the footy under pressure.
Full credit to Wanderers. I mean, they're a young side out there and lacking that experience and that leadership, but they haven't given up.
Well, they can't afford to. They've got another big quarter coming up, not too far away
Good
from
tackle.
the 3-quarter siren. And it is a great tackle, and he's going to be rewarded for that. And that is putting it inside Dyer, inside the forward 50. Drop short for Ferreira, not able to pick it up. It's Nightcliff Tigers with all the numbers. They come out to the right. Coco Nicky with the ball over. He's now in hot pursuit of Sattler. He slips over, gets rid of the ball. Coco Nicky picks it up.
So slapping
Sorry,
the ball.
that was Thompson. Thompson running around. Oh, and Thompson's given away the free kick. He's tackled the man after, but it's now in the hands of Cetus for Nightcliff. He's on the broadcast wing side. Chips it over. There's a lot of free players. Gives it off quick handball to McGregor. Gets it up to centre half forward. Hangen was in front, but it was good defensive work from the Wanderers. But they only get it as far out on the left. A snap back at front at full forward was from Melville. It's gone over the back. Foot race is won by Bricknell. He's got all the time in the world to give it to Hangen. Hangen, shot on goal, and it goes to the right.
Geez, he had a lot of time there. Hagen probably could have ran in a little bit further and had a shot on that, but well done to Wanderers to withhold that.
Braden McLean now bringing the ball out. Went by hand to Baird. Baird with the long kick out outside 50. Attacking the ball, Allen for the Eagles. Gazza at right half-back. Long kick from him down towards Nicky. Comes off hands. Nice little battle here between he and Jonathan Peris. Nicky kept the ball in front of himself. Now Keelan Fijo coming in to offer help. He's tackled. Ball held in. Got the handball away, I thought, and the umpire says that will be 3-quarter time. Score check here at 3-quarter time. The Tigers well in command. 14-11-95 to the Eagles. 5-6-36.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, forever you feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing could ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while down power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text safety to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
We look at the midfield for Tigers and the midfield that can go in there. You know, Brody Philo and Philip Wills. They're just two big bowls. Is also playing a good game, and just their body size compared to Wanderers, they're just bodying them in the midfield.
And that's the voice of Natasha Medbury, our expert tonight on the game between Nightcliff and Wanderers. I'm Shannon Byrne. We're also joined by Dominique McCormack. And Dominic, for this final term, wow, Nightcliff, the reigning premiers, they have had an impressive 3 quarters to date.
They have indeed. They've really played good footy. They're doing exactly, I expect, what their coach wants them to do. And the message from him, I think, would be more of the same. Make sure that you finish off well.
Yep.
Exactly the opposite to Wanderers. He does not want Wanderers to win this quarter. He wants to see his team play professional football, play to their capacity, and make sure they finish off well. Make it a truly good win. And then after 3 rounds, they get to sit back and say, we've had a really good introduction to this season of footy.
I just really hope, and it looks like Joel Jeffrey is going on the ball. So I think Shannon Motlop has said, okay, mate, you go and have a bit of a run. You know, he's in the AFL Academy along with Tyrell Louis that's out there as well. So, you know, two young players but have a great potential. And Tyrell Louis is actually doing well in the back line for Wanderers, but he'd probably be another one that I'd chuck on the ball as well.
So 3-quarter time, it is Nightcliff with that lead, 95 to Wanderers 36. The final term to get underway here. A very warm night, still 30 degrees as we just hit 9:30 local time. And it is a big final quarter coming up for both teams. Dominique McCormack.
Ashley Hood up against Winter Irving. Winter Irving wins it down. Wanderers with the first kick out of the middle. Well done, Luke Dyer. Up towards half forward. Great mark taken by Darren Allen. Feigns the handball. Kicks well. Almost finds his teammate in Baird. That move, he's gone forward. Little handball comes into Dyer. Just stopped and propped. Had perhaps a little bit more time. His kickers are high up and under. Punched away. Taken by Motlop. That's Matthew Motlop. He's kicked a goal. Well done to the Eagles. 28 seconds, Matthew Motlop on the board for a goal.
And that's the changes that they've just made. He's made some rotations, Shannon Motlop, and I think that's what's given them a little bit of the spark. If they can do more of that, they're going to end this game on a positive. I still think it's going to be a hard task to come back from that far down against the Tigers, but you know, there was a spark up in the forward line.
Absolutely, and one of the things you've got to do as a coach, I think, you have to learn something about your charges. Use this time now. You're probably not going to win the game. Learn something about the players you've got. Where can they play? I mean, we've seen in the Thunder games, Joel Jeffrey playing in defence.
Yep.
You know, do you try him there? Do you try him in the midfield? They're making those changes.
Well, I think that's what they've done with Tyrell Louis. I don't think I've ever seen him play in defence the whole game.
Winter Irvine wins it over Hood. Brewer pulled off the ball, and rightly so. He was pulled without the ball. Jumper punch. Sorry, not a jumper punch, but a jumper pull. So it comes back to Brewer in the middle of the park. He sends it inside the forward 50 for the Nightcliff Tigers. Picked up well over in their forward left pocket.
All deliberate's the call.
So it's going to be Wanderers' free kick to bring it back in. Left back pocket now for the Wanderers. As the deliberate call, they're going to be on the outside wing. The umpire just not happy with the setup there. So Jamison Galbraith, the NTFL umpire, brings the player back around again, and it is umpire round. So booming kick down the outside wing, juggling mark there from Hood, the ruckman in front of Winter Irvine. He brings it just to the side of the centre square, and another good mark. Good start here from Wanderers. Joel Jeffrey was under it, sends it up to Nicky, comes over the back of Nicky. He tries to pick it up, he's being harassed well, he just taps it forward. Wanderers still inside their forward 50 in the right forward pocket, but it's Kane Riley for the Nightcliff Tigers that are going to get them out of trouble, or are they? He is, he's going to mop up again. Kane Riley with a booming kick down in front of the scoreboard.
Caleb Walker takes that mark. Just stops and props, goes one way then the other, brings the ball towards Bricknell, no mark taken. Luke Dyer, another possession. Geez, tried hard, got the ball up to Nicky. Allen feigns the handball, runs straight through centre half forward, long kick down towards full forward. No mark taken down there by Ferreira, puts the pressure on really well, holds up Riley, could have been a trip. Coming through strongly, Baird. They're in the goal square. Keelan Fijo wrestling for it. Nightcliff working hard, dropping the balls. The goal. The Eagles will have the free. Terrific effort there by Ferreira. The whole forward group just kept the pressure on, Natasha.
They did, and well done to Wanderers to get this free kick. Davin Ferreira can go back and kick his third for the game. But just the pressure. And Kane Riley was the one that dropped the footy. You don't see that very often.
No. So Davin Ferreira, 5 metres out, 45-degree angle, just pops it through. Well done to Davin Ferreira for the kick, but well done to the Eagles for the pressure that they put on. That scoreboard, 3.5 minutes in now to this last quarter. The Eagles, 7-6-48. Nightcliff, 14-11-95.
In that little group that just put that pressure on, Davin Ferreira, I think, is the eldest out of them, and I think he's only about 22, 23 himself, if that. So they're doing well with the changes. So the changes already that Shannon Motlop has made dividends for him.
So they've kicked the first 2 goals of the final quarter. 4 minutes gone. Nightcliff 95 leading Wanderers 48. Hood up against Winter Irvine. It's Winter Irvine who wins a tap down. Tried to get it to Philo, picks up his own ruck work, puts it inside the forward 50, and a juggling mark there for Wanderers. They're still under a lot of pressure, but going to be coming out, being relieved there by Jeffrey. That's Jordan Jeffrey. Out to the left. Still not out of danger just yet, Wanderers. A little chip over to a good run in Coley, but he's not able to gather that in. It was a bad kick there in the end.
And some of those little things, isn't it, Tash? That's just let them down tonight.
Yeah. He had no one around him, did he?
Just the skill area,
Poor
you know,
marks,
just the fumbles, 2 grabs at the mark and not being able to pick it up cleanly off the ground as well.
Boundary throw in now. Winter Irving again up against his mate in Ashley Hood. Ball
at that
taken away
delivery.
by Brodie Philo. Look at the delivery to Melville, who comes leading out. Bull-chested, takes the mark, 40 from goal, directly in front.
I spoke about it earlier, but you, as a defender, you cannot defend that. You cannot defend that at all.
Winter Irving comes from the ground. He has rucked tremendously tonight. Relieved here by Marley the Mullet McGregor.
Yeah, he might sneak into my votes tonight, I reckon.
As we see Melville, 45 out, directly in front, belts it through for a quick reply. Geez, a beautiful kick of the football, Trent Melville. And Nightcliff, they move on to 15-11, 101, leading the Eagles, 7-6-48. We've gone 6 minutes in the last quarter.
Won the goal kicking award, leading
Last
goal
season.
kicker
Yeah, he did.
for season. You can see why after that.
He kicked a bag in one of the games as well. I think it was 10, maybe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he kicked a bag of goals last year.
And then played in defence for Thunder. Really struggled
Yeah,
when he played
yeah.
forward in the Thunder competition, but when you're not getting a lot of ball up there, it makes it a bit hard.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Makes it very difficult.
So Marley McGregor in the ruck for Nightcliff Tigers up against Hood. Hood wins it down, but only goes as far as Philo. He wasn't able to gather it, so Hood did well running through after his ruck work, and he applies pressure to the man on the bottom of the pack there in Dirksen, and there'll be a quick throw up. Still inside the centre square, still in favour though of the Wanderers, and they're going to try and get the way out. Great defensive pressure though from Nightcliff Tigers. They're able to turn it over. Cetus goes out further to the right from under the scoreboard, and it's Kidney. Just takes his time, comes in, finds an unmarked Philo. Philo quickly turns around and
mark.
finds Hagan.
The umpire said play on.
Oh, he
then.
said play on from
must have been
Kiki.
touched from Nikki.
So Nikki, Coco. So an ugly kick there on the ground from Wanderers. That is a big air swipe. Wanderers players falling over each other. The ball bowling along the ground at the moment. Now inside in favour of Nightcliff Tigers, and that will be a drop ball there from Holtz Fitz for Nightcliff, and that relieves the pressure for Wanderers, who now go out the outer side.
So Ronald Fijo with ball in hand, kicks up forward, finds Baird in the middle of the ground, plays on quickly. Another nice long kick here looking for Nicky, finds him at centre half forward. What can he do? Another man with a great hairdo. He goes laterally and looks for Nook Mansell, drops a mark he should have taken. Now the lead to come from Ferreira. He takes a mark he definitely should take. He's a metre in from the boundary, left forward pocket, about 40 from goal. It's a difficult kick, but I tell you what, I've seen him kick these before, Davin Ferreira.
I was going to say, I've seen him kick a couple from this angle in the past, so I won't doubt him on it, but no one's leading for him, so he's going to have to go back and have a good crack at it.
So Ferreira, steady approach. He'll veer out slightly, and that he does on the right boot. Kicks beautifully, beautifully does Davin Ferreira. That's a goal. From the boundary, Davin Ferreira kicks his 4th goal, 2 in the first quarter, 2 in this last quarter. What an effort from him. And Wanderers not giving up in this match.
And as I said, he was one of the senior players down that forward line. He really has stood up tonight, which is good to see from Davin Ferreira, but beautiful kick. And the
umpire didn't move.
No, and the players knew straight away as soon as it left his boot. So that's a brilliant kick. And 4 goals on a night like tonight is pretty good for Davin Ferreira.
Well, he's the leading goal kicker for both sides as well. And in a losing side, that's an impressive performance.
Half the score.
Yeah, exactly. So Nicky, that's Caleb Nicky for Wanderers up in the ruck against Marley McGregor. Ball tossed up, McGregor wins it down, tries to find his captain Wills. He wanted to kick it off the ground, couldn't get any purchase. So Wanderers looking to go through Thompson. He is not able to get a clean ball, and it's now out to the left. A little chip in from Melville, and a great mark at the back. And it was diving mark there from Williams on the paint of 50, looking for anyone with a quick lead. So that makes me nervous. He doesn't like this distance, but he's going to go back about 65 metres. Can't find a lead that he wanted to honour, so he's now going to just hit the paint of 50 now, directly in front, lets it go, and lets it go all the way to the right and misses everything.
I reckon, yeah, that's out of bounds. No,
Has to be out of bounds on the full, surely.
Yeah.
Did it hit the post?
It hit the post.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
going for distance there, he just sprayed it.
At what point did you look nervous? About the fourth time he wanted to offload it?
Jordan Jeffrey to take the free
Always go
kick.
with your first thought.
From that out of bounds on the full, brings the ball in. Now the long kick out. Goes to
This
the
move
back of
should
the
have been
pack.
made.
Here he is, Joel Jeffrey, taking his second contested mark of the quarter.
In the third or second quarter.
Yep. Joel Jeffrey out towards centre wing. Caleb Walker in contest there with Keenan Smith-Thompson, who just did not go hard enough at that footy there, close to the boundary line. Coco Nicky coming off as we see the ball go over for a boundary throw-in. Players get ready. Caleb Walker coming off as well. Cetus to go back on for the Tigers. Ball tossed in. Marley McGregor gets it down to the front. Philip Wills charging in at it. Cetus looking for support. Ferreira just lost the footy through his legs. Wills back in and got it again. Melville on the up with the hands was fantastic to Jermaine Hurd. Long kick down towards the forward 50. Taken here by Liam Holt-Fitz. Got it back to Brewer. That was great play. Brewer running into an open goal. In pursuit was Tyrell Louis, and the kick slewed off the side of the boot for a behind. Again, Natasha, probably a little bit more time than what he thought.
Yeah, heaps more time. And he could have probably drew the last defender there because Brody Philo was there for the hand pass over the top too, so they bombed that goal.
Well, Mansell is in a great foot race for the ball. He goes down into the left forward pocket, tried to find Baird, and Baird, he was stuck behind a Nightcliff Tigers defender.
Looks like he's got cramp there, but I guess that might be his excuse because I thought he probably could have gone a little bit harder for that footy as well.
I'll tell you who did go hard, and that was Joel Buderick. He was the one who got the fingernail in
Yep.
there to get it over the boundary line. I mean, late stages of the last quarter, well in front.
Just those little
things.
1%ers.
Ball tossed it in the left forward pocket. McGregor up against Hood. McGregor won it at the back, and it's Philip Wills, the captain of Nightcliff Tigers. Little quick handball. Now it's in the middle of the park, and it is two players one-on-one, and it's Wanderers that are able to get it out through Motlop. He's suffering from cramp as well. So a few players just feeling it out there now. Ronald Fijo is being harassed by Williams. He's done well. He's still going, Fijo, but it's for Nightcliff Tigers through McGregor. McGregor rides a bump of Motlop. Handballed it off to Holt. Fitz big up and under inside the forward 50. Good defensive fist from Braden McLean, although it's now still with Nightcliff Tigers. Shot on goal from Evans.
They're peppering the goals here.
Just to the right as we see another player coming off in Brenton Motlop suffering from cramp. So this is really taking effect with a lot of these Wanderers players now this heat.
It's still hot out there, and you can tell that they're struggling. They're wanting the siren to come, both teams, and unfortunately it's still a little bit away.
Ball back into play. The contest at centre half forward resulted in Coco Nicky gathering the footy, and lovely little left foot chip from him finds Liam Holt-Fitz. Brody Philo, as he always does, sneaking around the back looking for a handball, and Liam Holt-Fitz has said,
He gave him the dummy. He gave him the dummy and that, I'll go back.
I'm having a shot here. I haven't had a lot of the ball tonight. I want to have a crack at goal again. Liam Holt-Fitz, he's kicked one tonight. That was in the second quarter. Left of centre here. He'll kick from probably just on or inside 50. 40-degree angle. Jogs inside 50. Kick on its way. It's accurate. Is it long enough? No, it's not even close. They belted through just for a behind. So Liam Holt-Fitz, perhaps he should have given it to Brody Philo.
Funny enough, the one man I was watching while that was happening was Philip Wills. He might have known he couldn't make the distance because he was pointing to everyone to man up because he knew it was going to be a quick kick.
There you go.
So even the captain knew he didn't have the distance.
Davin Ferreira from the kick in. The ball's been cut off now. His kick was poor across into the forward pocket. Cetus gives the handball away to Philo. There he is, just hanging around in the right position, Brody Philo. And he finally kicks his third goal of the evening. 2 in the first and now 1 in this last quarter. Terrific effort, Brody Philo.
And he's been down the forward line quite a bit since half time. So, they rest him down there. But when you can afford, you've won the game, you can let him go down into the forward line. So just trying to switch the play here. Didn't hit a target. And again, we just said those 1%ers, just the effort by Nightcliff just to get to the contest, make it contest, but then also the second effort. So the hand pass out to Philo that just, again, that snap He loves snapping the footy. I think he might be from Tiwi because they love doing that too.
Well, that goal from Philo brings up the 100 for Nightcliff as well. It's 15-14, 104 to Wanderers, 8-6-54. Winter Irvine convincingly won the tap, but only as far as the midfield for Wanderers. Now it's in favour of the Wanderers. Coming over towards the broadcast area, great work and hands down on the ground by Phelan Fijo. Yeah, he's lucky to get away with that. Joel Jeffrey wheels around on the right and finds an even. And there is no Nightcliff players around, 4 Wanderers players at the moment. So great vision there from Jeffrey to hit up Allen. He is 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. So he is going for a very long walk back, about the 55-metre mark. Hits the paint of 50 right now. We'll hit it at 40 metres, slight angle, and that has not carried around enough. It was through for a behind.
I think he tried to kick that one through to the St Mary's Club there. He just needed to push that one through.
So the margin 50, 15 minutes gone in the final term.
Darren Bowles bringing the ball back into play, goes to the back of the pack. Winter Irving very close here to a very sore Monez Wakefield for the Tigers. Handball comes back to Winter Irving, gets it away. Picked up there by Liam Evans. Handball from him goes to Harry Williams, goes to the back of the pack in Philip Wills. Beautiful play here by the Tigers, just willing it forward. Kane Riley with the long kick. Cut off here by Sattler with pace. Attacking the footy is Liam Holt-Fitz. Squares it around. Well cut off by Edward Colley. He's had a good night for the Eagles. Tried very hard. Handball going forward to the run of Braden McLean. Gets it on centre wing. Left foot kick is an absolute sizzler. And the mark taken by Caleb Nicky.
Look at Marley McGregor running 150 metres to try and pick up that Wanderers player, and he will get to the contest of the footy. In the dying stages of this game, it's absolutely brilliant work rate.
Ball off hands there from Daniel Fuller. The Tigers now to take it away and steady on centre wing. Cetus taking the mark.
Now in through Jonathan Paris. Paris, wobbly, ugly kick along the ground. It's going to go, though, to the advantage still of the Nightcliff Tigers. They're inside their forward 50. Philo through traffic on the left, in front directly, but it's just sailed to the left and it will go through for a behind.
So you could have had potentially 6 or 7 goals tonight, Brodie Philo. Just peppering away at them.
Gee, watching Joel Jeffrey.
So Nightcliff 16-15, 111 to Wanderers 8-7-55.
I was going to say, just watching Joel Jeffrey before, he was playing so well.
You just got to wonder why the move wasn't made earlier.
Now the long kick. Oh, and Winter Irving cutting off the kick out from the Eagles magnificently there at half forward. Drives it back to centre half forward. Finds a teammate there in Cetus.
For a ruckman, he's got some brilliant skills.
Oh, he's
foot
got good skills, yeah. Cetus now looking for the short pass. Players free everywhere here. Liam Holt-Fitz taking the mark just right of centre.
It's about the same distance as the last one.
45 metres from goal. Needs to have a look. Brewer goes cruising past looking for the handball. Not giving it. He's just gone back further. And now he did go to Brewer. Dropped the mark. Tries to gather the footy. McLean beats him to it. Gathers. Kicks the high up and under. Out here looking for Caleb Nicky. Used his body well. Ball goes out to centre wing. Paddles. Doesn't pick up. Contest here. The Tigers player in Buderick gathers. Handballs backwards to Cetus. Cetus's handball now will be picked up by Jonathan Paris. Goes into space again looking for Buderick. Bowls over Keelan Fijo. Coming in strongly was Caleb Nicky. Lost the handle. In there to the mullet in McGregor. He released by hand. The ball socket forward in favour of the Eagles. Picked up here by Paris. Tired players. Paris tackled by Nicky. The ball near him. They don't even know whether to go in and grab and get it. Caleb Nicky is out on his feet here. And a free kick behind all of that will go to Sattler.
Yeah, they're just struggling here, all the players. I think they've run out of fuel. Jeez, that's a horrible kick, isn't it?
Huge up and under. And waiting at the back of that was Cetus. He kicks it down, still on the outer wing. In favour, though, of the Nightcliff Tigers coming through. And it is a big pick up there. Shot on goal from Holtz Spitzel. No, that's Coco Nicky.
Coco Nicky, very, very lucky.
He had a lot of time.
I thought he ran too far as well.
So probably the right result for Wanderers fans in that there wasn't any score advantage from that. It is about 10 metres around from the right post. So toss back in. McGregor up against Jeffrey. It's McGregor. Picks it up for Nightcliff. Weaves through traffic. Puts it onto the boot. Up to full forward. And there is a lot of traffic there.
Well
that
done,
is just
Louis.
going to see it. Louis over for a point. And it is Nightcliff Tigers 112 to Wanderers 55.
Brenton Motlop brings the ball back into play, finds Ferreira. 20.5 minutes gone in this last quarter. Ferreira now called to play on. Oh, that's a dangerous kick, setting up his teammate. They come from everywhere to the Tigers players. Caleb Walker gets a handball off to Jonathan Peris. He goes back to Evans. Long bomb towards the goal square, through off hands for a behind. 15-15, 112. The score here for the Tigers. Wanderers 8-7, 55.
That's a better kick out, Wanderers. Quick kick out by McLean. Young players all linking up here.
So picked up by Joel Jeffrey, takes one bounce, handballs it over the top to Thompson. He has a mountain of space, goes over the 50, one bounce, and then just chips it over to a vacant goal area, and the chip was
out of
ugly.
bounds on the full. He had the option of drawing the player and hand passing over the top to a teammate that could have run into an open goal, or just get his balance and kick the goal himself, but he
did neither.
Neither of it.
Just running too fast as we see the ball now coming out by the Tigers. Daniel Bowles, a beautiful left foot touch, finds Jermaine Hurd. Dre Thompson after him, shoves him in the back. And again, that's going to be a downfield free kick.
Against Joel.
Against Dre Thompson. Oh, against Joel Jeffrey on this occasion. So the play, the kick was to Brodie Philo. Finds him at left half forward, wants to step around an opponent, nothing doing. Collie had him covered. Long kick inside 50, off hands. Gathering the footy there is Williams. Long bomb, no mark taken. Ferreira fumbles. Loses the footy. Coming through strongly, Louis paddles it to himself. Needs to pick it up and get rid of it here. Handballs towards Brenton Motlop. Ferreira still down near him. The extraction was poor. Williams goes easily to Brodie Philo, and surely he will go back and kick his fourth.
That ball just gone down like flies. The back line here for Wanderers, just cramp and exhaustion, I think. Combination of both players. I think that's Marcus Totham again limping off.
29 degrees, still 75% humidity, and we are at 9:50 local time.
Brodie Philo, right of centre, 35, 40 metres out. Just look for the signal. The arms were extended. It's a goal on the board to Brodie Philo. He's kicked 4 goals, 2 in the first and 2 in the last. Exactly the same symmetry as for Davin Ferreira.
Yeah, to kick three goals in the last quarter, Nightcliff, and 3 goals. No, I think it's 4 goals for Nightcliff in the last quarter and 3 for Wanderers. It's not too bad. The floodgates definitely could have opened up, but they're really struggling now. But the changes that Shannon Motlop did make in this last quarter, I think probably were a little long overdue, because they have made a difference. It's been a good last quarter by both teams.
So Winter Irvine up against Hood, who's done a mountain of work tonight.
Again, confusion in the middle.
There is
there's
not enough. Yeah. So it's actually Nightcliff this time.
Nightcliff have breached.
Coco Nicky was not in the defensive area. The ball was put down, but it's Winter Irvine who wins a huge tap out, and it is Nightcliff that are going to go in through the forward 50. Picked up here by Philo. It's been hit out of his hands, and incorrect disposal.
Well, I thought that was in the tackle, so that's a bit.
Ferreira comes down the broadcast wing, and it's not able to be marked by Thompson. Great pressure there from Jonathan Peris. He goes inside to Coco Nicky. Nicky just chips it over, finds a very vacant player in Cetus, and he is not able to kick the ball as a siren has sounded here at Marara Oval. The reigning premiers have defeated Wanderers 17-16, 118 to Wanderers 8-7-55.
Yeah, good game by Nightcliff. We knew they were going to come out strong, and with the team list that Wanderers had, very young, inexperienced, but they did well. They kept fighting until the end, and they matched the last quarter with Nightcliff, which was a credit to them in goal-wise. But a few positives to take out of this game for Shannon Motlop, but Nightcliff just looking the goods, and Brodie Philo, I think another 3 votes for the Nichols medal there in that game for sure, I reckon.
So, Dom, I'll get you to go through the goal kickers. I'll let Tash have a look at the ABC votes, and we'll be with you for about the next 7 minutes as we wrap up this game.
Thanks, Shannon. Good on you. So, goal kickers for the Nightcliff Tigers, who have run out comprehensive victors here tonight against the Eagles. 4 goals to Brodie Philo, 2 in the first and 2 in the last quarter. 2 goals to Michael Hagan, both of those coming in the third quarter. 2 to Blake Brewer, again both in the third. 2 to Liam Evans, 1 in the first and 1 in the third. 2 to James Cetus, 1 in the first and 1 in the second. And singles to Matthew Bricknell, Liam Holt-Fitz, Coco Nicky, Philip Wills and Trent Melville. For the Eagles, 4 goals to Davin Ferreira, a lone hand really up forward. 2 in the first and 2 in the last quarter. Singles to Keelan Fijo, Matthew Motlop, Jonathan Sattler and Joel Jeffrey.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either.